Misfit Nation.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everyone, this is Harrison Young, host of Topic Time, and I was just intermingling with my friend Crishaun the Don of Misfit Nation, and we have met the minds, and the minds are there.
Perfect.
Have you seen my laptop? I'm pretty sure I left it right here. I know I had a laptop. That's the third one I lost this year. I know when the hotline ring. So what if she's underage? You know when that big guy rings, he wants his money from Ukraine. I think I left it with some dude, but I don't recall where I left it at. Don't remember if it's Windows or a Mac. I just know the guy I gave it to had on a funny hat. Ever since I left the country, true, I've been standing naked in the mirror more. I've been making millions sitting on a board. I'm the boss at a job I've never done before. But have you seen my laptop? I'm pretty sure I had it here all night, right next to my crack rock. I just hope I wipe the hard drive. When I feel that crack pipe hit, I tend to forget some things. You know I got a 9-inch dick. I just made a hooker measure it. Might sound kind of funny, but it's true. Lately I've been feeling insecure, that my penis just doesn't touch the floor. I mean, it's still huge, but I wanted more. Ever since I turned 52, even my brother's widow wanted nothing more. Smoking Parmesan, I found it on the floor. Me and my father enjoy trading porn, and I had it on my laptop. I'm pretty sure I left it right here, right next to my crack rock. That's the third one I lost this year. When I feel that crack pipe hit, I tend to forget some things. You know when that big guy rings, he wants his money from Ukraine. These days, all I do is think that maybe I should've never gave my passwords to someone else. Recording myself in that bathroom with someone else. Is that Parmesan cheese or is that something else? My plug thinks I'm someone else. My dad thinks I'm someone else. Whoa.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Bo. How's my favorite son? This is Hunter. Oh, hey, Hunter. Where's Bo? Oh, how many times do we have to go through this? Dad, he's dead. Come on, man. Quit jive talking.
Crishaun the Don. The Don. Crishaun the Don. Crishaun the Don. The Don. D-O-N, right? Crishaun the Don.
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all. I'm blickety black, blacker than black, black, I'm blacker than black, yo, because I'm black and I'm back. Yo, I'm black and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blickety black.
Hey. What it do? What it do? What it don't? Happy Juneteenth, everybody. Actually, belated. Happy belated Juneteenth. Welcome to the stream. I meant to do this yesterday. I guess that's why I'm in a Juneteenth mood, huh? Well, you already know the drill. If you've been here before, I'm going to cut off of the main channel in a bit. So if you're on the main channel, go over to the backup channel. That is in the description. We're on our second strike on our main channel. So we have to tread lightly right now. And I don't know how to do that. So I'd rather just go to the backup channel for now. So go to the backup channel if you're on the main right now. But on the way out, you know the deal. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Drop a comment if you want. You know the deal. You know how it goes. Let me just do a little promo. You know the deal on you hear me talking, I'm jive talking tonight because it's Juneteenth. It's the day after Juneteenth. So I got it all in my system. I'm all ready to shuck, and I'm ready to jive for Juneteenth. So yeah, go over, like I said, go to the backup channel right now. I'm going to say that a couple more times before I get off the main channel. Also, if you want the audio version only, go over to podbean.com. That's misfitnation.podbean.com or Apple Podcasts if you're stuck in the Matrix. You don't like supporting a company like Podbean that's really been a ride or die under this whole culture war. I just love to shout out Podbean. So shout out to them. Also, the other social medias, but specifically Rumble. Go to Rumble at the Misfit Nation. We are very close. I haven't checked the numbers today. Last time I checked, we were at 94, so we need 6 more to get to 100 so we can start live streaming on Rumble. Yeah. And by the way, one more thing to promo. Well, let me hit the like, share, and subscribe. There we go. Why is it over my face? Nothing should be over my face. I'm the host. Before we get off the main channel here, because I'm going to talk about a few things. I'm going to talk about DeSantis, how I think DeSantis really did something that makes me not trust him. Almost fully not trust him. And I'm not talking from, being a pro-Trump, because I know there's a lot of people pissing on DeSantis. I'm not going to forget that he did a great job as the governor. And I'll reiterate this in a little bit, but something he did that really got under my skin. And the way one of these right-wing media, conservative outlet, the Daily Wire, how they covered it really, really made me sick. So I'm going to be talking about the one and only Mr. Research, because Mr. Research has completely lost his fucking mind. And he hasn't, I'll get into that later. Go over some Juneteenth stuff. That's going to be linked in with the Mr. Research thing. And what else? What else do I have? Well, I was going to talk about the CM Punk thing, because CM Punk went viral this weekend for being on AEW Collision and really what happened after the show, because the show, to me, his pipe bomb, what they're calling, was more like a fucking wet bottle rocket. That shit sucked. It was like a caricature of a pipe bomb. But anyway, what he did after the show is he held up a sign that a fan brought that said, I think it said protect LGBTQ or trans youth, something like that. Well, I'm going to get into it tomorrow, because I actually have a guest coming on tomorrow. The one and only, I told you about him before, Crossman Wrestling. I told you to go check him out over on YouTube a couple, maybe a week ago, maybe last week. So, yeah, yeah, go check out Crossman Wrestling on YouTube. He's going to be on the show tomorrow. We're going to do a little conversation about CM Punk and AEW and Kenny Omega and all of their support for child abuse and child mutilation. So I think that's worth a talk, because there's not a lot of wrestling podcasts that are actually right wingers. And we happen to meet in the we met in the battlefield, me and Crossman. We were arguing. We came to each other's defense in an argument on Twitter, and then happened to both be doing YouTube channels, so we linked up. So yeah, that's I'm trying to put forth the idea that we have to all sort of build a network, and we all have to do, even if it's something as simple as wrestling content, push our agenda through. Maybe not agenda, that's a harsh word. Push our narrative through. Narrative is a fine word with me. Push our culture through, our principles and our morals. So yeah, that's going to be sort of our conversation. He did a little video on it. You can go check that out. Crossman Wrestling on YouTube, spelled how it sounds. No goofy spelling, no dollar signs for the S's, none of that nonsense. Just Crossman Wrestling. He's a Brit. So, yeah. That should be a fun little conversation. So that's tomorrow on this channel, this very stream at 3 p.m. That is 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I don't know what it is UK time. 6 o'clock p.m. UK time. All right, well, look, I'm going to jump off because I want to start. I hate promoing. Tired of promoing. I want to get into some talk. So everybody go over to the backup channel. I see one person on the backup channel, or one person on the main channel. Go over to the backup channel because I'm leaving right now. The link for the backup channel is in the description. Go ahead. Give you a second there. And I'm out of here. Beautiful. All right, folks. Well, now we can really talk, huh? Well, let's see. What should I get into first? I guess I'll end on the Mr. Research stuff, because Mr. Research did a really funny thing. He didn't know it was funny, but it was hilarious. Let's see. Also, I might open the phone lines in a little while. Let you guys have some talk time. That worked out pretty good last time. So, let's start with this DeSantis thing. So, let me pull this up first before I start. Get all my ducks in a row here. All right, so Ron DeSantis. DeSantis campaign shares apparent AI-generated fake images of Trump and Fauci. Now, supposedly this goes even a little deeper than that. Basically, the Trump, basically DeSantis put out this video, and this is the shot right here, where he was trying to put off like this idea that Trump was in cahoots with Fauci, and that he actually loved him, and that's why he never fired him. That's a big sticking point with DeSantis in his campaign. And he shared this video, and in the video had this little screenshot here, and you'll see here that it has pictures of Trump next to Fauci. And then a couple of the pictures have Trump hugging Fauci, Dr. Fauci. Turns out that those pictures are AI generated. They're not real. They never happened. This has been proven. Basically, it's been kind of like figured out that these pictures, like, I believe they couldn't find anywhere on the internet. You know, it was very suspicious. point being, it kind of came down to that it looked more and more like the DeSantis campaign created these AI pictures and put it in their campaign, in their campaign video. Which in my opinion is, whenever we talk about AI being a dangerous threat and being really, you know, things that could be really dangerous with AI, that's kind of been one of them, is that political leaders start using AI, deep fakes even, to sort of frame their political rivals in a false manner. And that's exactly what we saw DeSantis do. And in my opinion, this is very deceiving. I think he did this to deceive the people. That, and let's be real, because DeSantis more than likely isn't, his campaign isn't doing too well from what I see. And he's more than likely not going to win. So it looks like he may be resorting to some really deceitful tactics. And I think that goes beyond just playing dirty politics, because you're going to see in a second, I'm going to show you somebody who I actually like, who I listen to, and I heard it on his show, and I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me, the way he dealt with this. But then I realized, the Daily Wire, are all getting ready to, they're looking for their moment to turn against Trump. This is my theory. It's all based on my conjecture, I guess, but I believe they're all trying to wait for their moment where they can turn on Trump and go down the DeSantis train. And they know they can't do that right now because they'll lose a big portion of their audience. But I don't believe that the Daily Wire are Trump supporters. I don't believe they're going to vote for Trump, which it's their right. But the way they covered this, I thought it was way too light. The way Michael Knowles covered this was way too light. So I'm going to play it real quick.
This 2024 primary is getting pretty nasty, pretty tricky. And we usually expect the dirty tricks to come from somebody like Donald Trump, or from, say, a Trump political consultant like Roger Stone, who has fashioned a reputation as the dirty trickster in the business. But in this case, the biggest dirty trick so far in the 2024 primary has actually come from the DeSantis campaign. It came from this ad in particular.
You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're all fired. All four are fired. You're fired.
I didn't want you to do.
Fired.
Today I walk in, I hear I'm going to fire him. I'm not firing him. I think he's a wonderful guy.
Should you have fired Fauci?
So a lot of people ask me that question, and I did it right. Because if you do fire him, you're going to have a firestorm on the left again.
Why did you feel unable to fire Fauci?
Personally, you're not allowed to.
Every time he goes on television, there's always a bomb, but there's a bigger bomb if you fire him.
Frankly, you can't win that one. If I would have done it, I would have taken heat.
Okay, it's a good attack. They're saying, look, Trump cozied up to Fauci, let him run the country. Ron never did that in Florida, so Ron was better on COVID than Trump was. COVID was a big issue. Vote for Ron. Okay, fair enough. Rewind.
Which, by the way, let me just cut it there because I don't want to play so much. But doesn't that show then that Trump didn't actually give the country to Fauci? It was the people who ran the states, obviously, that did that. Because if DeSantis had enough power left to him that he was able to say, yeah, fuck Fauci, I'm not following him, that power was given to him by Donald Trump, specifically. Donald Trump gave the power to the states. So people like Gavin Newsom and Lori Lightfoot, I think she's a mayor. But I can't remember any of these fuckers' names right now. But Gavin Newsom specifically, because he was the one that was breaking all the COVID rules. He was giving the power to Fauci. He was just following Fauci's rule. It wasn't that Trump turned the country over. So I think that's also a false premise that DeSantis is pushing out there. But again, now listen to already how he's kind of framing this, Michael Knowles, is that it's just dirty politics. I think this goes beyond dirty politics. And somebody let me know if you think in the chat or in the comments. let me know if I'm overstating this, but I feel like creating a fake AI generated picture and then trying to pass it off as real to frame your political rival in a certain way is beyond just dirty politics. Unless this is the future of politics. We're just going to accept that.
That ad, though, just a little bit. Go back to that ad. If you're only listening to it, you weren't able to see it. There we go. Hold on. There we go. Right there. I will describe these pictures to you. There's 6 pictures on screen. One is of Trump hugging Fauci.
Right,
Same thing. Switch ones.
I don't need him describing it.
Creating realistic images. I've been having a lot of fun on this with puns in politics. So I keep talking about the Chris Christie Renaissance, the Chrisissance or croissants, and I keep creating extremely vivid images of Chris Christie as various sorts of baked goods, and it's disgusting, but the computer does it in about 60 seconds, and that's what happened here with these images. Now you might say, well, look, whoever created the ad for DeSantis, it just kind of got duped. Because these pictures look so real, probably thought it was real, they just put it in the commercial. No, that doesn't cut mustard, because if you've ever worked in media, you know that when you produce a commercial, especially if it's a TV commercial, but especially if it's in politics, you got to clear those images. So you need to affirm that you have the right to use those images. You can either license them from an image shop like Getty Images, say, or you can create the images yourself. And when you create an image with something like Midjourney or any of the AI programs, you own the rights to those images, which means that unless there is some explanation that I'm missing, it seems basically 100% certainty, the DeSantis campaign created those images, knowing they were fake, and then intentionally deceived the public. That is a dirty, dirty trick. Now, it's politics, man. That's how politics goes. I'm not going to say
this is unprecedented in politics. This isn't just something we laugh off. Because in my opinion, I always thought about that threat of somebody creating a fake image of whoever. Doesn't have to be Trump, could be anybody, and then destroying a possibly good campaign or destroying somebody's life that doesn't deserve it based on a fake image. That could happen to all of us. And for them to just for Michael Knowles to just laugh that off and go, that's dirty. This is politics. So I guess he's just accepting that's going to be a thing. And I always expected that to come from the leftists. Because that's not a dirty trick. That's a fucking evil trick. That's damn near black magic. I didn't expect that from Ron DeSantis. I didn't expect that from the conservatives. Any conservative. Ron DeSantis just proved that he's an evil fuck when he needs to be. That's insane to me. That's insane that he just writes that off as well, this is politics. If this is politics now, then politics is fucking over with. It's over with. The fact is that the Daily Wire has to protect Ron DeSantis because that's their guy. So they can't tarnish him too much. But in turn, look what they're giving over. They're giving over this the fact that like somebody now on the left can make an AI generated picture of Donald Trump at a fucking Klan rally and use it to actually deceive people. And we just go, oh, well, that's politics. That's insane to me. I think that's a fucking pussy move by Michael Knowles. And I like Michael Knowles, but that's a fucking bitch move that you can't call out DeSantis more on what that is. I don't know if I haven't seen enough of that, like enough people calling him out on that. That's pretty insane. It's sorcery. So yeah, I don't know. That makes me not like, I don't know if DeSantis I haven't seen any like statement of him coming out and saying like, you know, going against it or anything, but that makes me not trust DeSantis. Yeah, this came from DeSantis War Room. I mean, he backs it. He fucking backs it, so I don't know. That's just that's a really that's disturbing. That's disturbing. For two reasons. One, that DeSantis would have to stoop to that level, and he's supposed to be the upstanding version of Trump. I'm the better version of Trump. I'm not mean like Donald Trump is. I'll treat you like I'm the fucking plastics, and I'll make a fake picture of you and fucking of you hugging another dude to make you look bad. Yeah, fucking Ron DeSantis is really Regina George. That's who he is. Oh yeah, I just made a Mean Girls reference. That's what I do. All right, well, Ronnie D, not looking good. Also, he's not like drawing a lot of people to his campaigns. You know, you see Trump's selling out arenas. You know, easy. And not AEW selling out. We're talking about really selling out. Ah, man. Let's see. I guess I could get on to the, because I'm not going to do. I did watch the new season of Black Mirror. We could talk about that. Is anybody in the chat? Yeah, you know what? If somebody wants to talk about Black Mirror, call in, because I'd like to talk about it, not just ramble on. Oh, you know what? There is this military thing, because there's a lot of military movements going on that are kind of throwing a lot of people off. And you know, the only thing that I can say for certain, because the military, we're seeing a lot of like tanks and this is a video of at Miami Beach, the stealth bomber flying over. Listen to that baby hum. No sound. That's fucking scary. Imagine being in war and seeing that coming at you. I don't know what it is. It's a bomber. Stealth bomber. Yeah, so that's flying over. This isn't the Air and Sea show, people. This is the stealth bomber flying over Miami. Just randomly flying over. So now they're saying, and I'm going to show you where I think it's a lot of bullshit. Let me find the, this is probably not even going to have it in here. Because there's a lot of, somebody put some paper plane. Let me find the military thing. Because that's not as like alarming, I guess, because what we're seeing in like Philly and stuff like that is they're moving military vehicles. Now this one's on a train. I'm going to try to find one where what I'm talking about, because there's one that there's a lot of videos of these tanks and what are they called, Humvees and all that type of shit that are driving on the road, like they're transporting them on the road. And the ones that, you know, the tanks, for instance, aren't supposed to be driven on the road. Like there's a law, I believe it's a federal law, that that military vehicles can't drive on U.S. roads. That's why you usually see them like this on the back of trains. But there's video of them on the U.S. roads, on the highway, just driving, and they're saying that these are military exercises. But that's where it goes into like, why are they then driving on the road? Because they're not supposed to do that. This is another thing. I was gonna pull this up, but it's in the timeline. Because there's a lot of, you know, people speculating. And I'll tell you, this is the thing that I said at the beginning. This is what I know. Is I've seen this before. I've seen this from back in the day. There's videos of military, you know, tanks and vehicles being exported and, you know, shipped back and forth. and people see it on the back of trains, and they videotape it. Ever since phones have been able to fucking record video, there's video of this happening. However, I haven't seen this level of panic from the public before, because people used to do it to try to panic the public. Like, hey, listen, this is going on. We don't know what it is. They say it's exercises. And look, it could very well be some kind of exercise. But it just shows that people don't trust the establishment, the majority of people. And I think this goes beyond politics to a degree. I think it's left and right. I don't think any of us trust the establishment. The right way more doesn't trust. The left claims they don't trust. Like, for instance, they claim they don't trust the FBI. But then they root on the FBI when they fucking go after Trump supporters who went into the Capitol on January 6th. So I'm just saying, I think a lot of people, when you talk to like just regular, ordinary people, I don't think anybody really trusts any establishments anymore. It's hard to find anybody that even admits it. And that's the thing. Even if you admit it, or even if you really do and you won't admit it, that shows that you know it's a stupid choice to trust the establishment. But yeah, listen to this this newsman. He just like says something really weird. This is not kind of hard to hear. I'm going to try to turn it up as much as I can.
This is not rain, as we've been telling you for the past 2 weeks now. They're doing military exercises out there, and although it looks like rain, it's not. Showers here are legitimate.
Even though it looks like rain, it's not. What does that mean? Said they're doing military exercises. Does that mean that they're... Is this guy a whistleblower? This weatherman? Because they're saying that the military's fucking with the weather and this and that. I think it could possibly be that the military has the news telling people that there's some kind of storm there. And he just let it... So look how it just disappears, too. Oh, well, it just resets. That's what it is. Wait, does it? Yeah, it resetted. Oh, that could be real. I don't know. I'm just speculating here. More than likely, it's them doing some routine shit. It's probably that. But where it gets not routine, let me find the video of it actually driving on the roads. That is Russia. That's being transferred to California. Army occupies Hollywood. Yeah, look at this. They have the military trucks on the road.
This is on Hollywood Boulevard.
I don't want to get copyright stricken. They're singing the song. That's Hollywood. Well, maybe they're getting ready to go in there and just flush it out. Let's flush it out. Glassfield, this whole fucking desert. Make it a desert again. Oh yeah, it could be the border. I doubt it. Are they actually going to do something? Civil war? That's what a lot of people are thinking. I don't know. You guys tell me what you're thinking. I guess I can't. Oh, is this it? Military in Missouri. Yeah, there was a lot in Missouri. We have Florida, I showed you. Yeah, why do they keep playing music with it? Enough. We know you know the song. Yeah, it's just weird. Why are they on the road with it? I guess that's just a Hummer, right? Because the thing is they can't use... the point of it, I guess, is that the track the tracks on tanks fuck up the road. I don't know if these are just regular vehicles, more or less. They're not track tires. So they're, you know, the idea is that the military would be fucking up the road all the time, and then the taxpayers would have to consistently pay for the repairs. So it's sort of like this ass backwards way of, but I mean, they're not, that's not a tank. So, you know, all right. Brian Brumbelow, what's good, my friend? Hey, let me get your take. What do you think on this military movement that's going on? Well, that's just the train ones don't bother me. That's how the military's supposed to move these fucking these trucks. Ukraine. Ugh. All these just coming over. Just coming over. All right. Enough. Let me I could have sworn I saved more of the videos, but you know what? We're gonna have a show, so this will be better for what is that? Oh, it's like the forest. It's insane. All right, sorry, I got caught up in watching that. Yeah, we'll talk more about this when we got the group together. Maybe I'll see what Crossman has to say about this. By the way, I'll just because there's a couple new people in here. Tomorrow I'll be doing a live stream with Crossman Wrestling. He has his own YouTube channel. It's Crossman Wrestling on YouTube. And we're going to talk about the CM Punk holding up the support trans youth sign. And, you know, overall, the AEW just support for, you know, child abuse. Just really sickening. And I've always told you guys, it's liberal wrestling. How did I know? I'll tell you. Because I know for a fact that there were people in AEW that knew about our little Orange Cassidy thing. They knew about the song. They knew about the Freshly Squeezed update. I didn't get any word on if Orange Cassidy himself got it in his ear, but I'm sure he did. Somebody from AEW knew about it. And I was waiting on some kind of reach out from them. And I don't think I think they saw the rest of the content and were like, they're conservatives. Yeah, so I think that our politics really fucked up our AEW thing. So, yeah. But I heard from some pretty good sources, and I'm going to be the wrestling guy. I can't reveal my sources, but some really good sources that a lot of the guys in the back got a kick out of the Freshly Squeezed thing. So, yeah. But it is what it is. If the politics fuck up business, then that's not business that I want to do. So, fuck them. All right. Let me, yeah, so that's tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on this channel. Right here on this very channel. And we're going to talk about some other wrestling stuff. Hopefully he's a Black Mirror fan. I gotta see if Skrill finished Black Mirror. Because Skrill's a Black Mirror fan too. I'd like to speak about the new season 6. If you guys didn't know, go check that out. New season of Black Mirror. Let's see. All right, Brian Bumblelow gave out a couple guesses here. Testing for ground deployment strategy in Ukraine. I don't know about that. It's the only military major military war thing that we're in right now, right? To deploy in a urban area, you want to know how the ground works. Testing it for ground deployment, even if it's not for Ukraine. Well, that's the thing. They're not supposed to do that in America. I guess I don't know what's the rule on the Hummers and all that stuff, but you're not supposed to do that with tanks. Anything that could fuck up the roads. And I believe it's just military vehicles in general. That's why you don't really see that here. But I mean, they have to ship these equipment all over the country. It doesn't always mean something nefarious is going on. And like I said, these videos have been coming out for many, many years, probably decades at this point. And we didn't see the big, it's a different world though, let's be honest, but we didn't see some big tyrannical military move. Somebody stop me if I'm missing something. In this country, we haven't seen, well, obviously tyrannical, but all right. Let's see. Oh, yes, I wanted to talk about Mr. Research. Mr. Research. Because I'm a little perplexed by Mr. Research's video. All right, hold on. Let's see if he didn't delete it. Oops, wrong. Oh, you know what? I actually did. I actually saved it. That's what it was. Hey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, huh? Huh? What are we at on the likes, huh? Oh, fuck me. Fuck me running. Alrighty. Give me a second, guys. I'm almost there. Here we go. This is it. Now, it might be a little hard to hear this one, but Mr. Research did this random live in the middle of the day. And I don't know whether to be concerned. I don't know whether or not he's trolling. This video actually made me think that maybe Mr. Research has been trolling this whole time, and he's not really this fake conservative left-wing douchebag that he comes off as. But he did this video because he's been really tired of how white people have been, I guess like me, have been telling black people that, they need to stop committing crimes, stop killing each other, stop killing white people, stop killing Hispanics, to everybody pretty much. Stop robbing everybody, stop, looting. You're putting businesses out of business. You're really pretty much destroying the fabric of this country. And he hates all of that. And he actually has the video that's going to show like why that's all hypocrisy. Either that or he's fucking joking and he's the funniest motherfucker in the world and he's a goddamn genius. And he trolled me and got me. Well, watch this, because he found some white crime. Mr. Research is on the prowl for white crime. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do this right.
Any place, anytime. You got to give it up for the brother. He's got it going on.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, hanging with Mr. Research. This is what we would be doing if we were hanging out with Mr. Research. Watch this. Day at the park.
I want to show you something funny. This is the inconsistency of white people when they tease black people for doing the wrong thing. This is an episode of how white people don't comply with the shit they want black people to do. And white people teach their children not to comply with the shit they want black folks to do. So clearly, you can see this shit. And then they got the dogs. And it's not just them. It's not just them. It's the old couple all the way down. They got the dog too. So, it's another episode of white people don't comply with the shit. Yet, when they see black folks do something wrong, they the first one to come out and say something slick and keep forgetting about that time they did the same type of inconsistent shit. But
so basically he found some white people breaking a no dog in the park ordinance, and to him, in his fucking retarded, sick, denial driven, fucking twisted mind, he looks at that and goes, oh, well, that then justifies having the highest homicide rate consistently for decades, having the highest illegitimacy rate consistently for decades, having the highest rate, own race on race crime, race on other races crime, rape stats, incarceration rates, all of that. White people, though, violated no dog in the park, though. So this is like a retard trying to critique a guy who has a fucking what is it called? Fuck me. Oh my god, I just had one myself. This guy, this is like all right, this is like a homeless guy laughing at a person who forgot to pay their mortgage. You know what I mean? Like they accidentally forgot to pay their mortgage. And the homeless person goes, "You're a fucking idiot." It's the equivalent. It's apples to oranges. This guy is in so much fucking denial. It's scaring me. And this is why he doesn't want to talk to me. This is why he never responded to me. I told you guys he wasn't ever going to respond. But let me show you. Let me just show you some equivalents, I guess. So no dog in the park. Hold on. That's the best he could do, trying to find white crime. No dogs in the park. Well, let's see some videos on how they act. This happens a lot, by the way. This twerking on the ambulance thing. And this is literally going on while somebody's like getting loaded in there. Probably got shot. Show me the white equivalent, Mr. Research. Research that. By the way, have you guys seen this Juneteenth? Because that's what I'm going to bring up next. Literally look up Juneteenth shootings from this year. It's insane. Actually, let's go there. Let's go there. Because this is how they celebrate Juneteenth. So this was 6 youths shot after Milwaukee Juneteenth celebration. Well, it was after. Yeah, this is the video that went viral. I guess I could show it. I don't think you see any. I don't see any spaghetti, do you? Let's play it. Fuck it. It's all over the internet anyway, right?
There she go.
This is our black queens. And of course, ends in the typical way that a Juneteenth celebration ends, with 6 youths. 6 youths? 6 what? 6 youths. You notice all these videos always end with some dude yelling out some really ghetto name. Laquanda! That's where it ends. Chantel! And then it just ends. That means you know what happened. Oh, it was the same one. Oh, that was the video. Let's see. There's another one. Now this one's funny because it's one of those things that the DJ of the party, they're all fighting. The DJ of the party is like still screaming on the mic like, "Hey, y'all stop this shit. We supposed to be brothers and sisters." But you hear him, he inadvertently says what we're all thinking. There it goes. Y'all always fucking some shit up, man. How come when a white person says that, it's racist? Y'all always fucking some shit up, man. Even your own shit. You know, it's funny. I was watching on Juneteenth. We have this TV on at my job, right? And there was this Juneteenth. I don't know what celebration it was, what award show it was supposed to be. But it was I guess, in honor of Juneteenth. So they were just awarding black people for whatever reason, you know. But I was just watching it, and they're going on stage. Oh, I want to thank this and for my brothers in the black community and this. And I'm like, this is a fucking joke. This is like the Little Rascals when they used to put on fake shows and shit. Like, this is like, your community is fucking crumbling. It's literally the worst community on earth. And everybody that's accepting awards are all like well-off black people. You all left your community for those reasons. You know this. I know this. Every white person knows this. But nobody can say it. I don't know why. But yeah, it was just a joke to me. It's like your community that you're honoring here is literally crumbling to the ground. Burning. Burning. In a lake of fire. And you're giving each other awards. And honestly, like their ceremony was like no different from the Oscars or any like other award show. Like you'd think, all right, well, they go, oh, well, white award shows are just nothing but white people, just, you know, giving each other awards for this, and it's like that's all your award show was. Like you didn't do anything better, anything different. And it was like it came off as more of like, well, we're doing this because this is what white people do. So we got to do a show like white people. We got to have award shows. And black people don't give a shit about award shows. They never did. The BET Awards don't get high ratings. It's not a thing they do. That's a white liberal thing. Giving each other awards for bullshit. It's because they don't have fucking, you know, things like morals and parents and God. They need to honor each other. That's all they have. That's all they have. Yeah, it was just like I was just watching this award show and I'm like, this is just like fake progress. It's all theater. It's all theater. I don't know any of these people. Maybe that's my fault. But why? What is this? What is this? You didn't earn it. That's how I felt when I was watching it. You didn't earn this. You're only doing this because white people do it. It's the only reason. Was there award shows in, you know, fucking African tribes? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a dick, but it's like I think you gotta. It's the thing. This is the thing with Mr. Research, right? And the thing with most black people, and the whole issue I'm talking about here is that they expect the same outcome from different behaviors. They see they behave totally different from everybody else. Everybody else understands the laws, adapts to the laws. For the most part. Adapts to the laws, figures it out. Except for them. And it's like how do you not understand that different behaviors lead to different outcomes? It's such a simple concept. It's the first thing you learn when you know, if you have a brother, you see your brother do something stupid, get slapped up the head for it, then you know, okay, now I don't do that in front of the parents. And then when you get caught, you accept the slap. It's those little nuances that black people can't get. That you behave differently, like with the police, even with the courts, where they go, oh well, here's a white person and a black person with the same exact crime. And it's like, you could show me the same exact crime, same exact age, same exact everything. But how did that person act in court? Did that person cooperate with the police? You know, there's more nuances to it than just that. Did that person have a record? That's what I say every time. Tell me the record first. Now I look for the record first. It's the first thing I do. Because based on our past history, usually that's a sign that the first story that we get when somebody gets killed by the police black person gets killed by the police, isn't going to be the truth. Because we know the types that have records. Not all, but most. But most. We know the deal. So just get that in your fucking brain. Get that in your brain. This is not like, how many white events have gone through successfully, no fights? It's really not that hard. It's not that hard. Black people just can't do it. They can't do it. It's insane. And even for their beloved Juneteenff holiday, they can't keep it down for one day. One day. And that DJ, I'm going to play it back one more time. That DJ said everything that we've been saying, that I've been saying for 5 years on this goddamn show. A lot of you guys have been saying it for years too. Y'all always fucking some shit up. I couldn't agree more, sir. I couldn't agree more. All right, well that's fucking that. Yeah, I don't know if I was out of my mind when I saw that Mr. Research video, though. I was just like, what are you doing? Just enjoy the park. Enjoy the fucking park. And it was also titled very weird. It was titled claims white Americans blatantly Mr. Research claims white Americans blatantly break the law and have highest conviction rate in the U.S., Latins second, blacks third. Are you out of your goddamn ever-living cotton-picking mind? You can literally look up conviction rate. Actually, it's incarceration rate. But he'll try to fucking talk around and act like that's something different. Mr. Research loves his semantics, I'm telling you. Let me write conviction rate. Conviction rate by race in the U.S. Which is funny because like that's what Black Lives Matter and all of these people are basing their shit on, is that America convicts more black people than white people, and they have more harsher convictions. Like that's the whole the data itself isn't necessarily like argued. It's just people that are twisting the data of what it means. Like where people go, oh, well, there's more black people in prison. That means America must be racist. Whereas like the logical way you look at it is, well, that must mean more black people are committing crimes and getting arrested for it. So where like you would have to fill in a lot of gaps to make the argument that it's racist. I'm open to it if you can make the argument, but apparently Mr. Research is just saying that it's not true at all. It's not true at all. So, let's see, racial makeup in prisons nationally, black Americans are incarcerated at nearly 5 times the rate of white Americans. Though in some states, the disparity is far greater. Maybe we could find some real numbers on this. This is by state. I don't know if I want to do that. And see this too right here. Latinos actually have pretty low crime rates. Every time I look it up, I love how black people try to bloop them in. I'd like more Latino people to start standing up and going like, hold on, don't loop us in. We don't have high crime rates like you. Look at the differences. They're on par with white people. Yeah, I just don't know why more Latin people, Hispanic people, don't stand up and say that. I guess, you know, if you could get a piece of the victimhood, why not? And then why don't black people realize that if we're talking about slavery, Latin people were huge slave drivers. Way bigger numbers than South America, way bigger numbers than North America. I think it was like 10 million went to South America. We only got in America, I wouldn't have been out on the fucking field too. Or I probably would have just got killed. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. I identify more as a slave driver, I'll be honest, because why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you if you had the choice, right? Yeah, I don't know where like why don't they call that out? Where they're trying to team up with the Latins. It's like they were fucking slave driving too. Way bigger numbers. Why do you think there's a lot of black people in fucking South America? What did you think? So yeah, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about ever. Concussion, that's what I was trying to say earlier. Fuck me. Say it's like a retard laughing at a guy with a concussion. Huh? Hey, come on.
What? Is that funny? Are you here to make me laugh? Oh!
All right. Yeah. He's out of his mind, I'm telling you. All right, maybe I'll let's see. Let me open up the lines. I'll start getting out of here, but if somebody calls in, then I'll stay on for you. Let me actually open the line before. Oh. Hey, maybe I'll look and see if Mr. Research is on. Yeah. Let me open the phone lines first. All right, hold on.
The phone lines are now open.
Call in now, 929-464-7348. That's 9294 Misfit.
Yes. It's open. You know what? I gotta fix this chat too, because this is really annoying me. Because I can't even see you guys on the screen. So while I'm on, let me fix that. Yeah, call in now. 929-464-7348. That's 9294 Misfit. Tell me what you're thinking. We'll talk about whatever you want. Maybe some wrestling talk? Well, we could save that for tomorrow, because I'm going to have Crossman on. Promo him again, huh? I'm going to have Crossman on. He's going to be doing, or he does wrestling content. Sorry, I'm trying to do my fix my chat while I talk here. But yeah, he does a lot of wrestling content. He's a Brit, and he's a conservative, open conservative, which I always respect Like I was saying earlier, me and him met on the battlefield there of Twitter that is called Twitter. And yeah, turned out he was a wrestling fan that had similar thoughts. Okay, I see what the problem is. This is the wrong color. I changed that though. I swear, guys, I changed it. This isn't the right one either. All right, let's try that. There we go. Wait, now it's like gone. It vanished. Hold on, I'm gonna have to bring it back. I just fixed it though. I see it here, but it's not there. Maybe I fucked up on something. Hold on. I want to fix it. Guys. Let's refresh. Refresh the chat. No? This is going to suck for the, it's really going to, there we go. I say this is going to really suck for the audio listeners. Almost said audio viewers. All right. Well, I'm going to get out of here. I do appreciate you guys for tuning in. Again, tomorrow, 3 p.m. with Crossman Wrestling. We're going to talk some wrestling. We're going to talk the CM Punk thing. And we're trying to figure out when the next Misfit Nation podcast is going to happen, because we're just kind of out of sorts because Skrill just got back in town. We might do the show. We might just be without Wonder. So we'll figure that out. Mr. Von Green is going to be coming through in a week or two. He'll be on the next show after. So look forward to that. And I think that's all for the announcements. I did say I'm gonna take a break at some point, so that'll be probably coming up in the next, maybe I'll take a couple weeks, a month. I'll figure it out. I know I'll like after a couple weeks I'll be chomping at the bit. So yeah, I don't think I've taken a week off from this, and I don't think I stream enough to like say I'm burned out or anything, but I think I just need to recharge and figure out a couple things. So I think it'll be better for the show too. So that's the whole point. It's a break from me being in the public more than it is a break from the show. I'm going to try to do some things behind the scenes. Figure out a better way of promoting the show, things like that, because I think we're just missing some of that. I don't know if it's even possible with the type of show we're doing and promoting online. So I got some ideas rolling around in my head, so I'm gonna get those actually rolling, and I think I need a little break from like being obligated to stream, and that's my own obligation, but I gotta pull that obligation away a little bit. So yeah, that'll probably be in a couple weeks or so. I'll keep you posted. And like I said, maybe Skrill and Wonder will take the reins and do some stuff without me. So I'm fine with that. I'll figure out what they want to do. Maybe they want to bring back bad sports. Maybe they don't even want to do a sports thing. Who knows? Maybe that'll turn into a spin-off. And then they have their own show. Like I have my own shows. Huh? OP, what's good, my friend? How are you? How are you? I was just signing off. I did have the phone lines open, but well, I mean, if you call in, I'll stay on, but we'll see. Yeah, that's what was I just saying? Yeah, I don't know. That's up to Skrill and Wonder. I'm here to facilitate. I'm here to produce for them. You know that. They know that. So we'll see what they come up with. And I like doing these late night streams. Seems like you guys like it too. So who knows what we'll get into? Who knows what new callers will call in? We'll see. All right. Well, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Thank you so much. Yeah, OP, we're gonna I don't know what you guys are doing tomorrow, but I'll be back on Opinion Parade. You didn't hear this probably. You just got in. Oh, well, he's calling. Is he calling? Come on, baby. Trying to answer it. Hello, sir.
Hey, Crishaun.
OP.
This is OP.
Yeah, man. What's good?
Oh, not much. I saw your stream and then, thought I'd call in, talk about anything weird going on in the world.
Yeah, what do you got?
Well, there's that missing submarine. I don't know if you heard about that.
Shit, yes, I meant to talk about that.
Yeah, no, they only had about 40 hours left to air, and it's been like a whole day almost at this point, so it's a ticking clock.
Yeah, they got a what do you call it? Well, did you see that they showed like video of what the submarine was like made out of or being controlled by, and it was like video game technology.
So it's like almost like an underwater drone or something.
I have the video because I meant to actually play it. Hold on. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or hear it.
I'll probably hear it. I'm not going to see it though.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like supposedly it was like it was very shoddy work how they built the fucking thing. So.
Oh no. Yeah, that's the thing that's like not quite related, but that's why I don't really go to like amusement parks and go on rides anymore. Because I saw one time they hired a bunch of dudes I knew from high school, and they were the dumbest people I'd ever knew, and they were in charge of putting the rides together.
Well,
and from that moment on, I was like, "Oh, fuck this shit! I'm not riding this stuff anymore."
I just saw a video about what is it? Universal Studios, and they're having a problem with the Jurassic Park ride because it's like so old, it's like falling the fuck apart.
No, that one's interesting. I don't know. Like, part of me wants them to just like just keep it up and see what those dinosaurs do.
See if they actually kill.
Well, that was that was a problem on the original movie, the first Jurassic Park. I don't know if you know about that. Like when the kids are in the car, the dinosaur wasn't actually supposed to like smash the window down on top of them. It was a malfunction.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that film is like literally that's footage of kids thinking they're dying. So fun for the whole family.
I just thought they were good actors.
Yeah, no kid's that good.
That's crazy.
No, yeah, that whole thing is it's kind of like I hope it's real and it's not like can you imagine a new Balloon Boy situation?
Oh, right.
They surface to go get some food or something like that, and then everybody thinks they're missing, and they're like, "Oh shit!"
They docked it on the other side.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
We didn't see you over there. Let me play this. So if you don't hear it, I'll say what he says.
Yeah. Just summarize or give me a cue.
Pieces of this sub seemed improvised. We can use these off-the-shelf components. I got these from Camper World. We run the whole thing with this game controller. Come on!
Did you hear any of that?
No, I didn't. No.
So he's sitting in the sub with like this news guy, and he's pointing at some like fucking jerry-rigged thing at the top of the sub, and he goes, "Yeah, I got this from Camper World." And then he picks up a video game controller, and he goes, "And yeah, this is what controls the whole thing." They like
That doesn't seem up to par. No way, man. No way is that kosher.
And they were going to explore the Titanic, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Why?
Oh, yeah. Last I saw was there was some sort of like Canadian researchers or people were hearing like a strange ticking noise, and they're thinking that if they dock the submersible, they might be trying to do Morse code or trying to tick, because you can hear that stuff in the ocean for miles.
Oh, the submarine.
Yeah, the people inside the submarine might be like trying to tap on the walls to like send messages or trying to communicate if they're like on low power or something.
I don't know. These guys that I'm watching on the screen here don't look smart enough to come up with that idea.
Oh no, I'm being too hopeful.
They sound like idiots.
Oh
Wow.
no.
Yeah.
Well, have you heard about that? There was that murder thing where the reporter went on that man's homemade submarine, and then she just like disappeared because he like just brought her down there and murdered her.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I didn't hear about that.
That was the insane thing. It was just like she had her camera equipment and everything. Like I don't know how he thought he was going to get away with that.
So it's like it's recorded?
Well, I think part of it is at least part of her recordings in there. Yeah, at one point he just like bashed her over the head and then like threw her overboard or something weird, and tried to claim a bunch of weird stuff about the mechanical failure. It's a really crazy story. Yeah, I would definitely look into that one.
That sounds like a Mr. Ballin story.
What's that one?
You don't know Mr. Ballin? I think it's Mr.
Oh,
Ballin.
Mr. Ballin. Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah. That's a good Mr. Ballin story. That would be a good one, yeah.
Yeah. Well, my thing is, why the fuck are they studying? What are they like looking new for in the Titanic? It can't be anything.
It's purely just tourism at this point. Like, that's all it really is.
Oh, so he was just trying to.
These are just dumb fucking tourists that paid for a cheap vehicle, and then they like got lost or something.
Yeah, they just didn't. They got in over their head, huh?
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Or you gotta have some sound effects ready when you're gonna drop one of those.
Yeah, you're right. That's why I need a producer. Yeah.
Oh! Hey, there we go.
Oh, you heard it. Nice.
Yeah, I heard that one. Yeah.
I'm still figuring it out.
I had another topic ready that I wanted to talk about if you had some time.
Go ahead. Drop it.
So I was watching these nature documentaries, and there's this really specific thing that kind of creeps me out. Where they have you seen that where they make like the fake animal with a camera in its eye? Like
Ace Ventura kind of thing?
Yeah, kind of like with I mean, almost exactly like that, yeah. But yeah, they'll do it. They'll have like it's like a robot. It'll move around.
Oh, and be like with the herd kind of thing.
Oh yeah, and it's usually like babies. Like it'll be like a baby gorilla with like a camera eye.
Oh,
and the other like animals don't even know. So my theory is, or my idea, or whoever, just that and apply it to humans. Like, what if aliens just put a camera person down here? You know what I mean?
Wow. Yeah. Like, yeah, because it's the same thing of like they say our like mental capacity or something like that. The amount of brain, the brain that we use is like within 1% more of chimps and apes and all that stuff. So if you'll look at the
that's an insane 1%. Yeah.
Yeah, that look at how much 1% is. Like that's how much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how big of a difference it is. So if there was just an alien species that had 1% more than us, that would be like magical to us. You know what I mean? So
exactly. And like
they could do
anybody
that,
who's lived in a
easy
city.
For them. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Anybody who's lived in a city, if you've taken any kind of public transportation, you know that people look weird as fuck. Like you could easily hide. There's no like standard person. Everybody looks weird, kind of like all shapes and sizes. But you can just make a thing and put a camera in it, and I don't think people would really be too weirded out if it was just on the subway station.
Do you think they could get away with it, like with doing it with somebody famous?
Ooh. Probably. I don't know. That's the thing is like how if they could do it for one, I'm sure they could do it for the other, but that's also like how what's the word? How articulate are these things going to be? Is it supposed to just be like sit there and watch, or are we going to be talking to these things and they're like transmitting directly to wherever, the mothership or whatever.
Well, yeah, I mean more of like not because I think famous people are smarter. I actually think they're fucking idiots. But
oh yeah,
what I mean is like the anonymity of it. Like you can definitely put a robot that looks enough like a human into a city, and most people will just like kind of ignore. They ignore what's weird, so they'll just assume.
Yeah, there's
it's a
this thing in
weird person.
cities where people don't want to look at each other. Like it's, I don't know. Like I was living in Seattle for a while, and it's they have a word for it. I don't know if you've heard of it. I think it's called the Seattle freeze. Everyone just freezes you out. Like nobody wants to like really interact.
Really?
Weird. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not necessarily like a Southern guy, but I feel like I got a bit of Southern values, and it kind of feels like, hey, interact with your community. Apparently not.
Yeah. You think Seattle is like the liberal mecca, and all those humanitarians. You think they'd all get together and be communists? Huh?
This is why I think it's good I called in because started talking to you is because I was kind of ground zero at a lot of the shit that was going on in the Northwest. I was there at the Evergreen State College situation. You remember that in like 2016?
Refresh my memory.
So what they did is they're so lefty that they had this little day where black students could remove themselves from campus and take classes like out in the woods or whatever, and like be away from white people. And it was supposed to be like this thing of like, look what you lose when you don't have black people here. Like you don't have your librarians and some of your teachers or whatever. It was supposed to make a point, and that's fine because legally you can just opt out. But that day they chose to reverse it. And they said, if you're white, leave the campus.
Oh, I remember that. Yes.
It's totally different than exempting yourself. It's telling a whole group, look, you need to, and it was also finals. So people wanted to be there.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and so there became a big problem where there was even like a large amount of the Asian population at Evergreen were like, no, fuck this. I'm a good student. I want to go to my finals. And it was basically anybody who showed up who was teaching or anything were seen as like not allies. And it became this huge thing where like, God, like if you can look it up, I don't even know what they're called. I think it was like the Evergreen like Rainbow Mafia or some dumb shit where they had like, it was the most effeminate group of people, and they all had like wiffle ball bats and stuff, and they were like walking around campus like looking for people.
It was like
and it was
looking for people to wrist punch.
Well, the thing, they actually got the dean of the college, and they cornered him in a room, and they made all these demands, and he's like a weaselly, sad old man. He looks like a I don't know, like some sort of a bloodhound or something. He's very sad looking, and he just folds to all the demands. They're like, we want a cookout, and we want it to be this kind of food. And he's like, well, I think that's reasonable. And then there's a point where he gets up to go to the bathroom, and they won't let him go to the bathroom without their permission. Like, they ran that school. They, like, blocked the entrances. And they put all the footage of what they were doing up themselves, which was the thing that embarrassed them. And then they got mad, and they wanted everyone to take it down. And I'm like, motherfuckers, you did this. You did this to yourselves.
You put that up. It shows
that whole thing was crazy.
It's always what I say. They're just ashamed of their own actions when they actually see it. It's textbook psychology.
That's the thing. There's like they're going to look back on that. Everyone's going to get old if they live long enough. Imagine looking back at that when you're old and go, "Oh, geez, I did that." That's just sad.
And that's all.
But yeah, I was there for that, and then I was kind of living in Seattle for a little bit, and I moved just a few months before all that shit with their autonomous zone and all that shit happened.
Oh wow!
I would have been right inside of that if I hadn't have just moved. And so I was like, oh, I really dodged a bullet with that one.
You would have been ruled by a SoundCloud rapper.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I walked in there and just kind of like walked the walk, talked the talk, and they thought I was one of them. I just started like zip tying their shit together and like their backpack, I zip tied it to like a fence. And I would just do it when nobody was looking. I just kind of did a ton of little things to fuck with them because I was like, I'm an army of one. Like I didn't come there with a group. I was like, this is all about like just seeing what I can do.
It's funny to do something just like, and you don't get to see the reaction. You just have to picture it.
Yeah.
Who the fuck keeps zip tying our backpacks?
And it wasn't anything that would have like really hurt anyone, but it was just like that didn't sit right with me. Like you can't just take over a few blocks of this fucking city I live in. Like that's not like that. Didn't Red Dawn teach us anything?
Right. Where were you politically, like mentally, during all that?
During that time, or
were you
I
like
don't
a
know.
Trump supporter, or were you kind of in the middle, or where?
I'm like, I like to call myself a nonpartisan pragmatist.
Ooh.
Where I think there are pragmatic ways to solve most problems, and I think that if you want to get a result nowadays, sometimes you have to push one party, because they're still reactive. You have to push one party one way to get another party to move another way. So that's just like sometimes I have to flip flop and vote just to kind of manipulate the things I want, because it's not an honest system.
You know that
So that's kind of how I see it.
When you said the term, I was a little off put by it, but then when you explained it, it makes a lot of sense. Like I get what you're saying,
Yeah.
like because I was a liberal for a while, but they just pushed so far to the left that I was like, they're leaving me. I'm now
Exactly. Yeah.
The goalpost is moved, so now I'm right wing and I've actually picked up a lot more conservative values because the more I was open to it, I was like, actually that makes sense. I do want to have a family. I do want to get married. I do want to, It's
there's a logic to it. Yeah, it's kind of balanced because like my family is very mixed culture, mixed people at every level of my family disagree about some really big thing.
Yeah.
So like part of my family is actually Native American, so I have that direct like lens into the world. So I was pretty left, very far left when I was really young, but now I just feel like slightly left of center, with some conservative values that I've picked up from like my more country family.
I feel you on that. Because I'm, I'm coming from the Caribbean side. They're all Democrats, but they live conservative lives. So it's like, I guess that's the evolution of it, is that I realize that like they're voting for the wrong people.
Yeah,
so,
it's all about like if you like look at what the actual outcomes are. And like that's the thing that's the most important, is like what do these things actually do? Not what they say they're doing, but what are these policies? How do implementing these things? How does that make people actually equal? Or and so often it's annoying how things from the left, they are really good at selling an idea, but they're not really good at coming through with it, like in an actual effective way.
Well, I think it's because they sell dreams. They sell pipe dreams, and their ideas actually aren't fulfilling that. It's like another a hidden agenda.
Yeah.
So
and that's the thing. It's almost like, and when you go too far to the right, it almost becomes like they're kind of like, see, one side is selling a dream, and the other side is selling like another warped version of reality that's more like pessimistic, more like it's all about me. No one's gonna, like it's all about me and God. No one's gonna help you but us. That's the kind of thing of like either side has kind of like a. Once you get to the, this is why I always say the fringes are kind of the enemy of the common man.
Yeah.
When you get too far to the edge, those people don't represent what most people actually believe.
Yeah, you're right. And then we all go into the conversation thinking we're all the fringes, and then we realize we're like surprised sometimes. Like, oh shit, wait a minute.
The thing that.
So, yeah, man, I get what you're saying. I think. Well, let me ask you one more question. As far as your like where you're at, is there things you won't budge on?
There's there's a lot of like social issues and things. Like I'm totally First and Second Amendment are very important to me.
Nice.
I'm not going to budge on that. And when it comes down to like right now, it's very trendy, and I don't think it should be topical at all, really. But hey, man, trans women, they're men. Like
yeah.
I'm not going to budge on that. Like they're dudes.
Right.
Yeah, so like I don't know. There's stuff like that where it's like, believe what you're going to believe, like, but that's not real.
It just That's why I liked the person who actually like made me realize that was Jordan Peterson, because he put it in that very like simplistic way of like, I'm just not gonna buy into it. You could say what you want.
It's also
not what it is. Go ahead.
It's the idea of any sort of legality or any kind of legislation around that it's kind of like it's like a bait and switch where they're selling you one thing and saying, look how much we're going to protect this group of people that are less than 1% of the population. by making it so it's illegal for you to call them this or that. When really all they're doing is taking a small amount of people and using it as a justification to take rights away.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, that's all it comes down to.
They do.
So like, I don't care what they believe. You need to change the laws and like force people to say certain words in order to validate your own identity. Your identity's probably wrong.
Yeah, but that's where they use people. They build up their victimhood, and then they use that to fight as political pawns, basically.
Yeah.
So it's just
well, that's that. Once victimhood became monetized, dude, the game was over. Like, there's no way of reining this shit back in, because the moment people take victimhood and can convert it into power, people will go out of their way to become victims or present themselves as victims. How do you fight that? How do you actually, stabilize that kind of situation when people are incentivized to victimize themselves?
It's people have to get fed up enough. It's like at a point I got tired of. I used to give homeless people money all the time, and then I got to a point where I got tired of it. I was like, I'm not helping them. I'm just enabling their drug habit, basically. So it's like people.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on if you're just a druggie, then don't even.
Yeah, it's like just people have to get to that point where they're just like, I'm tired of hearing about it. Like, just stand up for yourself. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not giving you any money.
That's the thing that's really sad about a lot of homeless people, is that they get into a rut where they're not trying to get out of it. Like, they're not trying to go anywhere or be anything else. They're just trying to survive, and they're trying to stay in an area they recognize to survive, which means they're just going to do that same thing till they die. So that there's this whole thing where cities will take homeless people and put them on buses and give them like one-way tickets to other cities. Mm-hmm. That's controversial, but in a way that's kind of good, because it's like, hey, check it out. There's other things out there. There's other places to be. Like, don't just stay in this one fucking 3-mile radius for like the rest of your life.
Well, human beings we're habitual creatures. That's like, we get into routines and habits, and that's hard to break. So
it really is.
Yeah. Even if it's not like an addiction to something, it still has an addictive pattern to it,
Yeah, it's a familiarity, and it's a I've been there before, so I know it's at least safe enough to be there again, perhaps. And it's really very like simple stuff, but it's really sad how that can just like sap a person of like their whole life's experiences. Where even if like, what was it that they say? A hobo is a jaunty traveler. Like, that's the difference between a homeless person and a hobo. Hobos move around and do shit. They'll jump a train.
They have adventure.
Exactly. Yeah. So I always respect a hobo more than just a homeless person, the same homeless person you've seen on the same corner for like the past 5 years. Like, that guy's been asking for gas for 5 years. I don't think he's going anywhere.
I don't think he really has a car.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what's going on with that, but I don't think he's trying to get out of this state or whatever he says he's doing. But yeah, that's the annoying thing about that. And when you look into a larger scale, that's people though in their larger lives. Like, once you get a house and stuff, don't you kind of just do that where you live? Like.
Yeah, pretty much. But at least you're getting your own stuff. You're buying your
own thing. There's that joke was money doesn't buy happiness, but I'd rather cry in a Ferrari than cry on the street.
Well, did you hear that woman that said that? Like, where she was like,
no.
I guess she does an OnlyFans, and some interviewer is like, well, what if your kids are like, they see your is it going to affect your kids and blah? She has kids, and she goes, well, they can cry in a Ferrari. It's like, well, one.
I mean, she's kind of got a point. I don't know.
But it's like, I
don't know.
I think that's another pipe dream. I don't think most of these girls are making that much money.
Pipe dream.
It's like trying to make it in the music business or make it as an actor. Yeah. It's like that. You have to, first off, the basis is you have to be somebody that people want to watch fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's a weird baseline for, because it used to just be sex sells. So that used to be the baseline for any acting job. Exactly. Like, people want to fuck you.
That's it. Yeah. And a lot
Well,
of
you know,
these girls,
Anna de Armas. You know the actress Anna de Armas.
sounds familiar, but I don't know for sure.
She's in like the new Blade Runner movie. She's in like a bunch of action movies. I think she was Marilyn Monroe recently in a movie, but she didn't even know English. She worked for years on films and didn't know English. She just learned it phonetically, and she was just going off of pretty much her looks and her ability to just say words the way someone says it to her.
Well, I was watching the new Black Mirror, the first episode, and I realized same thing about Selma Hayek. She sucks. She's a horrible actor.
Yeah, there's a single thing I've seen that I like her, and
she's horrendous.
It's one of those questions like, why do certain people just keep getting jobs in Hollywood when nothing they do is very good at all? Like, I have this very hot take on George Lopez, where I don't know who the fuck keeps giving George Lopez shows. He's had like 40 shows. It's like he gets a new family every decade. And he gets a new late night show, and then everyone's complaining about lack of diversity. And I'm like, yo, man, this same crusty Latino's gotten like 40 shows. You give one to like a younger guy, or you know what I mean? Like,
there's like lack of diversity in the diversity.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, my question is like, what the fuck did George Lopez do to get this? Like, he's literally saying this. Every sitcom he does is the same exact sitcom. I don't know. Has no one noticed?
Right, and it's the same jokes. Like, it's the same.
Yeah.
Like, you have to get a lot of the humor. You have to have been like born in East LA. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me and then you get like the same. You know what I'm really happy is that because I used to watch The Daily Show a lot when I was like a kid. I think a lot of my people that I know used to do that, and they got really burnt out on it and got really tired of the way things were spun, you know?
Yeah.
But at least Jon Stewart could deliver a good joke. Like, he had good timing. He was actually a good stand-up comedian. I couldn't stand Trevor Noah, and now he's gone.
Well, the thing about Jon Stewart was he had that good, like, when you could tell he was getting like sort of fed up with the show, he had that good humor where it was like good frustrated humor. You know what I mean? Like, you could tell he was getting pissed
able to
off.
play it off.
Right. Trevor Noah just like, he doesn't have a funny bone in his body. He sucks ass.
Well, have you heard about the theory about how he got that job?
How?
Is that he gets a lot of jobs where the people running the show are women. And the theory is that he's like a pussy whisperer. That he'll sidle up to, the executive producers and all the people, and he'll just whisper sweet nothings and stuff to the producers. And then, he'll get the job suddenly. That's the theory I've heard.
Like, he touches a producer's leg and then looks at his own crotch and goes, "What's that? What's that right there?
Well,
you see it?"
Or something, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's like
there,
he has a different way of talking. I've seen him in interviews where we're talking to like a girl or like a woman or whatever. He'll just like start talking a very different way. And people are saying that that's kind of how he got some of his jobs. But it's all hearsay. I think the legality of that situation means I have to say it's all hearsay, and I'm not taking a position on it.
I'm not saying here or there. But
no,
like,
no,
the thing is though, like, George Lopez, just to go back to him real quick to compare him to Trevor Noah, he at least was like talented and funny at one point.
Yeah.
Trevor Noah to me just never had it. Like, it was like
he came out of nowhere, kind of, in my opinion. Like, he was just like, I saw him in one stand-up special or something, and then he was just, all right, now I have show.
Now I'm here. Yeah.
Yeah. It was strange. It was also just, it seemed really weird, like an inorganic and kind of forced in the way that the show was just kind of handed over to him. In the way that when Colbert, did you ever see the last episode of Colbert's show on Comedy Central?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
The weird thing about that is they literally walk the audience, Colbert and his like musicians and everybody walk out, and they walk the audience with the camera to the new studio where he does his Colbert late night show now. They literally like, come with us, literally audience, please come with us to another channel. It was one of the weirdest things.
That's
like,
pretty
on
crazy.
late night I've seen him. It was kind of desperate. It was like a kind of sad and desperate thing.
I gotta. That's when did he start like becoming unfunny during his show, or was that? before.
Well, yeah, it was really when he, and also that was the whole thing, is that show really should have gone to Conan O'Brien. This is some decades old drama, but yeah, Conan O'Brien, who's in my opinion one of the best, late night hosts
Conan was
in history.
Yeah, Conan was the best. He was the funniest in my opinion.
Yeah, and really, and even up until like a few years ago when he stopped having his show, and now he does podcasts, he was really good at kind of just keeping it humor based and not trying to get too into the weeds of politics, which I always really appreciated.
Absolutely, yeah. I don't want fucking political takes from my Tonight Show guy. It's ridiculous.
Exactly. Yeah, that was the thing of we had like what feels like a decade, but was a little less. We've had about a decade of just comedians who don't know what the fuck they're talking about, like making the same pithy self-congratulatory jokes, and it just like it killed late night. It absolutely killed late night.
Yeah. It's that Trump era, man. It really killed everything. It really killed a lot of Hollywood. They just got so obsessed.
This is, oh my God, somebody told me about this earlier. This is pretty controversial.
What?
Somebody was telling me about how the whole orange man bad, like everyone was making fun of Trump for being orange. Well, there's this thing I found out that the color brown doesn't exist. Like if you look at a rainbow or you look at a color wheel, it's not there. It's just dark orange.
Really?
Yeah,
I could see that.
That's everything is in the prime shades that we see in the rainbows.
Well, you know what? You're right though, because I do a lot of Photoshop and a lot of different stuff like that. And you're right, because when I'm looking for brown, you have to go into the yellow, orangish kind of color. Even sometimes red, a little red in there.
Yeah,
I sound like Bob Ross now.
Yeah,
little crimson red.
Happy trees.
We're gonna use a little Prussian blue here.
But my point was going to be that maybe Trump was blacker than we know. I don't know. Maybe he was.
Who knows? So they actually used a dark orange in the pride flag.
Yeah, that would basically be what they'd have to add. Yeah. I don't know what the newest version of the flag is, because I feel like I'm gonna have like an aneurysm or something. Every one of these flags gets more and more intricate with all these colors and stuff. It's like feels like the exact inverse opposite of one of those death metal logos, where it's just, you know what I mean? That's just black and white scribbles, and this is like every color and hue known to man in a crazy kaleidoscope.
I said what it is. It's basically the visual representation of the leftists' ideas. It's
they're on LSD all the time.
A bunch of shit just thrown all over the place and sporadic.
That's really what that's. And it almost feels so cliche in itself to say this and to like mention this, but like South Park kind of did get it right years and years ago. They had the episode where everyone was standing on their own hill rather than being united in any cause. All these people had their own petty little issues, and that's all it really amounted to.
That's all it is, yeah. But that's
it's a collection of really like petty people.
Well, that's why, I mean, the term collectivist, that's why they say like the Democrats are collectivists. They just collect victims, and we're gonna make you angry about a whole bunch of shit. Vote for us because we're gonna be the ones to fix it, even though we caused most of your problems.
Yeah, that's the thing they don't want to talk about. Yeah. For sure. I have a philosophy about like offense and like hatred and all these things. And what it really comes down to is, why people have vaccines is they give you a weaker version of the virus, so your body fights it, and then you're better off the next time you encounter it.
Yeah.
Like that's the theory.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I think we should do with like racism and stuff. Like people should encounter like benign forms of racism, and then not let it like fuck with them. Like they shouldn't be so reactive to the smallest amount of like, well, what do they call them? Like microaggressions.
Microaggressions,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, so that we shouldn't have these huge reactions to these small things, because it's really kind of like it's counter to the cause. If they're saying they want to reduce the power of racism, that's not what they're doing. They're making it so that you could do the smallest little racist thing, and then suddenly a million millennials and Gen Z people are crying about it.
Right.
Like you're empowering racism by doing that. So my theory is always people should encounter racism, They should encounter some sort of safe version of it that can't hurt them, which is what I think social media and the internet is. That shit's not going to really hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
That should be the benign shit. So you deal with it there. You don't have to get bothered by it. And then in the real world, somebody says some shit to you, it just rolls off your back.
That's actually
how it should be.
That's actually a really great take. That's better than my take of you need to toughen up, nigga.
Well, it kind of is that though too. Yeah, we're building up our tolerance to it. You know.
Funny enough, like where a lot of like the I don't know if you were around for this at the beginning, when Skrill was woke guy on the show. This was back in the day. When he first got on the show, he actually came on the show to argue with me because I became a Trump supporter. And
you reeled him in. All right, you got him in the fold.
Oh yeah. But Skrill was, and I'm not to talk about him while he's not here, but Skrill was raised, conservative. So I knew. Yeah, of course. So I knew, and I've said this a million times, but I knew he was raised conservative, so I knew like he would be easy to get to as far as that. Like I know you were raised better than these fucking hood niggas that we're talking about.
Yeah, you had like an in, like in his. You could talk to him. You could speak to his culture and his family, kind of upbringing.
Right. Point being though, to bring it to what you were saying is that a part of that was bringing a huge like a bigger like racial joke side to the show. So I would purposely make racist jokes because I was like, I know I'm gonna make him laugh. So if I can make him laugh, then it dispels his entire argument, and then he'll start realizing like, oh, I kind of want to be a part of the laugh now. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Because everybody,
it's a sense of respect because you are treating them as equal because you're not shutting down any jokes against you. You're opening that up, and it's like you ever punch your friend on the arm and they punch you back. That's like respect. That's like a closeness. You know?
Yeah. Like I make fun of the people that I love. Like if I don't like you, I'm actually not gonna like make fun of you in a nice way, So I get your philosophy, bro.
That's the thing that's really funny is people on the far left like to say like, well, we need to be sensitive to other cultures and stuff. And I'm like, have you ever met like one of those like Latino dudes that are like, hey fucker, hey, like they're like they're happy, they're like being like insensitive or whatever, but like it's a positive thing to them,
Right.
Like that's another culture. Shouldn't you respect that?
Well, I remember a big part of because I loved comedy growing up, and that was all in the 90s. And I remember a big part of 90s comedy was racial humor, and it was that we all just like we all laughed at each other, and that was like beautiful to me. Yeah.
That was have you seen that old Star Trek episode where they meet Lincoln?
Fuck. I'm not big on Star Trek.
There's a famous scene where he meets Uhura, and he goes, the charming negress. And then he looks around like he thought they'd be offended. And he was like, oh, pardon me for saying that. I mean, like, we're not offended. And he was like, oh, I mean, like, and it turns out that, like, nobody fucking cares in the future. Like, nobody cares if you call anybody a weird name. And then Captain Kirk turns to him and says, we're just happy with what we are. And we don't, we don't care what people say or do, like, say against us or whatever. And it was like this thing of, like, get over it. And they did that in like the 60s. They were just like telling people like, get the fuck over it. Like
it was casual. Well, that's why one of the shows that like broke my whole thing on the racial thing was All in the Family. I was like a huge All in the Family fan. You know that show?
Yeah, that was. I mean, I'm a '90s kid, so I got a little bit of that stuff. The thing that did it really for me is in Living Color and Fresh Prince. Like I was just like I didn't think anything weird about the fact that I'm just watching these like black comedians all the time. It didn't feel, and they were constantly making these kind of jokes and stuff, and it was just like it just feels natural.
Right. Yeah, like with All in the Family, it was more of like the racial humor and the sensitivity kind of thing, because that's all they were like. They were just at that time they were even like the one of the least sensitive shows, but then they would actually reel it in, and there would be this kind of level of sensitivity to it. But it was more, to me, it was more compassion than sensitivity. Like it was like, we're gonna make fun of you, but then we're all still.
Well, I can't remember. Sorry, George Carlin has a great bit about how when you make fun of people, you're still talking about them. They're part of the conversation. You're bringing them up and in, rather than making it a taboo subject.
Yeah.
And so he went on to relate it to, you don't see retarded people anymore, even though in like the 80s and the 70s, retarded people were everybody. I know he was retarded. That guy was. There are people who are retarded in movies, and now it's so specific that it doesn't feel like there's where are the retarded people? You know, like because we don't want to talk about it.
And that's also the genius of Carlin, is anybody could say his jokes and it's funny.
Yeah. I wasn't trying to do it word for word, but that's the basic concept is really what
it was still funny though.
It's all
like,
about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I get you. Yeah. It makes. Yeah, it's just like gay. It's just like, shit like that.
Yeah.
Faggot. That's why I keep all those words alive on my show. Like,
that's like, what was it? Queer. Nobody knows if queer is an insult or a thing you say to celebrate anymore. You know, like what do you even? Okay. Right. I was in Seattle and there was this girl who was cosplaying as Dr. Strange, and she like went up and she was ordering food next to me. And I was like, we were talking at one point. I asked if she was Dr. Queer, and she got like really mad about that. So I don't know. It really depends on the person.
Yeah, it's like I had a gay friend. He moved, but like he would come up to me, and like when I would see him or whatever, he would go, oh, Chris, I was just thinking about you, and I would just go homo, or I'd say fag.
Yeah, it's like a bonding thing because it's everything's very contextual. Like everything about language is contextual. So like there's this whole concept where people want to get rid of. Okay, so when you go into, you have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you have -0, negative 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
When you go into the negatives, you're going into the nega whatever. If you're going to a universe that's the opposite of this, it's the negaverse.
Mm-hmm.
But people want to remove the term nega because it sounds like nigga. Like it's overbearing to the point where like totally neutral language is being stigmatized to an insane level.
Just because it sounds like something and it may offend
like,
somebody.
Yeah, and it's a stretch. Like there's also like in Korean, the word what the word you is like nega or like something like that.
Oh yeah.
And it sounds like that. So in a bunch of Korean pop songs, it really sounds like they're saying the N-word like repeatedly. And there's like this controversy, like you're racist if you listen to K-pop, and it's just like that's just their language, dude. The syllables are what they are.
There's a video of a girl. She's watching some kind of show or whatever, where it shows a bunch of like international. We're showing a bunch of countries, and the country that pops up, it'll be like Japan, Brazil.
Yeah.
It goes. She's like, yeah, and it goes Montenegro. And it's a black girl watching it, and she goes, wait a minute, did they name that country to make fun of black people? And she's dead serious. And I'm like, what what kind of narcissism do you have where you think they named an entire country just to insult you?
It's really funny. There's a lot of this weird, like, as much as I love America, people need to kind of look outside of it sometimes because it's a really American-centric view of things where, like, people think that, like, America invented slavery. Like shit like that. Like people, like, no, we were kind of the ones that ended it. Like, people have come to believe insane things. And it's just because they don't want to look outside of their weird little spheres. And like the whole making Cleopatra black and like actual Egyptians are like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, you're like literally stealing our culture.
Yeah, like why are you? I know you got some shit stolen from you, but don't steal from me.
Yeah. It's
That is really funny how many lawsuits came out of that. But.
Yeah, I heard too. I saw some good debates too, to be honest.
I feel like every time people start losing a little bit of interest in Netflix, they just release some insane thing like, God, what was that weird pedo movie they released?
Oh, Cuties or some shit like that?
Yeah. I was like, well, first off, the first red flag was that it was French. But, I mean, after that, it was all downhill. But yeah, I think they do that. Every once in a while, they try and get real controversial just to get people interested. I don't know if that's working for them.
I don't know. I mean, I'm like on the last thread with Netflix. Then they drop the new season of Black Mirror. And I'm like, all right, you bought yourself another month.
Hey, yeah, I'm just gonna say, sometimes there's certain websites and you just go to those instead. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I still want to watch The Thing. Like, I don't want to pay to give money to fucking Disney, but I kind of do like Mandalorian, so I kind of do want to watch that show.
Right. It puts you in this place, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I don't have Disney Plus, and I think that's pretty solely based on my morals.
Yeah, I
And I
could not justify that being attached to any of my cards, any of my financial situation. I don't want to have Disney.
Yeah.
I don't want giving money to Disney.
And what sucks is I used to love Disney. That was one of my favorite places to go. I love Toy Story. It's one of my favorite movies ever.
One of the weird things about my family is half of them love Disney, and the other half we're like, no, we're gonna watch these other weird cartoons. You ever see those old Don Bluth '90s cartoons?
No.
Like the Rats of Nim and like all those like really scary, dark, like Fox animated movies. Well, they were like trying to. There's like, All Dogs Go to Heaven, and like a bunch of weird shit like that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Those movies are they're like nightmare fuel. They're really dark. Like Don Bluth, who was ex-Disney, he did not give a fuck. Like I think he wanted to just give children nightmares.
Right. There's maybe he was one of those people that like had the same philosophy that we were just talking about. Like, we got to toughen these kids up.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's that classic philosophies. Like tough people, or hard people make a hard society, and a hard society creates like I can't remember how it's worded.
Soft men create hard times.
Yeah, tough men make good times create soft men create bad times, and it's a cycle.
Yeah, it's a cycle.
So people get very coddled by the things they're given to by the people who work the hardest. The world that was created, even if it's not perfect, even if it's got a lot of problems, they still kind of gave their life and fought and shit to give you what you got.
Yeah. And then I remember growing up, I mean, my dad didn't have too much like thought in what he was showing us. So I was watching like Full Metal Jacket. Fucking that was one of the first movies
my favorite
I remember.
My favorite movie as a kid was Predator.
I was watching Goodfellas and fucking Casino and all that shit. Like, I wasn't supposed to, but I would watch it with my dad. I was like,
I think that's honestly like, and that's the thing that it's about, like the family choosing for themselves how to raise their kids. I think as soon as we lose that and people give it up too much to the state, that's why people are fighting so hard right now for like, parental rights in schools and stuff. Is because like one family might want to be watching Rambo on Sunday, and another family want to like, I don't know, be in church or something. You know what I mean? Like, there's a very vast difference. You can't just tell the state to teach them all about, like gay people when they're like 5 years old or whatever the hell. It doesn't make sense.
And it's like, that shit infuriates me so much. Like, I don't even like talking about it on the show, but I have to. But it's like, and I don't even have kids. I don't understand how people that have kids don't get that, don't get pissed off about it. But yeah, it's crazy. You're like, there's more and more videos coming out, like, because kids are actually standing up against it. But
that news story. Yeah,
you have kids secretly recording their teachers saying like, well, we accept your Christianity, so that means you have to accept our homosexuality. And it's like they're going like, no, that's not how it works. I don't have to.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there should be really any indoctrination of political, philosophical, or any of that kind of stuff in schools. We just have to look at our math scores and our reading and our science comprehension scores compared to other nations, and understand that what we're doing is we're supposed to be creating a generation, or further generations that can compete in a global market. They can compete, they can have good jobs and be intelligent and, have these things. And if all we're putting out is like weird coddled people that kind of sometimes go to school online, we're kind of creating a problem for ourselves.
We're creating like people who don't produce or invent anymore. Like we're just not creating innovators, and it's just factory shit. And here's the thing: this is what I've always left it to was growing up. How you said 90s, you grew up in the same time. We did all that shit ourselves. We like debated and had conversations about sex and all that stuff. The second the teacher came over, they were telling us not to talk about that shit. Like they were like not in school.
Yeah.
They were like they as soon as the teacher came over, we knew not to talk about it anymore. We were just like, all right, hold on.
And any teacher that tried to talk about that shit with you was weird.
Weird.
That was the thing. Like that's creepy, and we all knew that.
Right.
And we would like make jokes about that shit. But now it's just somewhat like it's encouraged, or it's really, really concerning.
Well,
because when you think about it, also is like, what is the qualification to be a teacher? I mean, these are some of the lowest paid people technically on the government payroll and stuff. Like this is going back to our whole thing about, like who are the people who made these carnival rides? Who are the people who set this stuff up? Do we trust them? If they're a bunch of idiots, then I'm not going to ride that ride.
Right. Yeah, and then if there's,
it's sad how
if we're
homeschooling might even be a good option.
And that's what I was getting at with the rides. Now I don't go on them either anymore.
Yeah.
Because the people who are left to maintain the rides are a bunch of fucking idiots.
Too.
They're not even the ones.
Yeah, they don't care.
It.
There's a severe lack of passion, I think, is the thing in the right ways. Is people aren't passionate about what they do for a living. Really, they're doing what they want to do, but it's not really what fulfills them.
Right.
And it's like an issue on like kind of all sides of things. Is that people want to have a and that's why I think sometimes conservatives come out a lot on top, because you look at the Bible, a lot of it's about family planning, resource management. Like don't plant your seeds in the same thing, because like we found out later there's reasons for that. Like your soil goes bad or whatever. So it's like there's a lot of that is just maintaining, and you have a structure, you have a way forward, you have goals, and people on the left, they embrace this concept of, it's not quite anarchy, but it's like, I'm addicted to rebelling against things.
Yeah.
On the left, people are like, I'm looking for something to deconstruct.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, how do you can't build anything when you're like that.
It's just, like when they hire these diversity people, like these teams to go into companies, it's like they're never going to not find racism. They're never going to not find a problem, because they're hired to find the problem. Once they go, there's no more problems, they lose their job. So it's like...
Yeah, they have to justify their own existence. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah, man.
It's when you get that budget, you have to spend your budget every year if you want to get that same budget next year, kind of thing. Of like, if you don't, and I mean, like, if you don't cash in on your sympathy and your victimhood, then people are going to like give you less of it next time. So you have to keep it up. And so people get stuck in that. Like, it's almost like a dopamine cycle, but it's way bigger.
But then we get into this place where now, like, for instance, the diversity teams are now creating more racist environments where white people feel like, they've been unjustly judged or whatever you want to call it. They're being treated with racism. That's going to create them to be now we're creating more racial problems in the workplace. Now we can have a job forever. We're creating the problems.
It's like, when did Mel Gibson have his big incident or whatever it is when he got pulled over? Was that in like 2007 or something?
Around that
or
time.
2004, I don't know.
Yeah.
So what if you were talking to somebody and you didn't know that happened, and you said, "Oh, wait, Mel Gibson's been blacklisted from Hollywood? What did he do?" And then somebody says something like, "Oh, he said something about how Jews run the world," or whatever. And then you go, "Well, doesn't that kind of seem to confirm what he's saying? If saying that and gets him blacklisted, it seems like you should just kind of forgive him of that kind of thing. Somebody has a crazy idea, let him have that crazy idea."
Yeah, you're right. It's just like Alex Jones.
Yeah.
They blacklisted him every time he goes on fucking YouTube. The whole stream is blacklisted. It's like,
it's insane how much they're trying to get from him. I can't remember the number, but it was astronomical. The amount of money that they claim he owes the victims.
It's like 400 million or something, right?
Yeah, they calculated it based on the number of views or clicks on a video or something. It's really bizarre.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, like, the thing is, like, and Alex Jones used to be like I didn't always like agree with him, but he did like uncover some shit, and a lot of the stuff he was talking about in like the 90s and early 2000s is just like confirmed now. there was wiretapping and stuff on citizens, and yeah, that weird owl god Moloch thing. You know, like that. Was it Hemlock Grove or was Bohemian Grove?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he did some good work, and like, you know, but now and then it got into the point where I'm like, dude, you're just saying a lot of the same shit that we all know, and anything new you do seems like it's kind of for attention sometimes. And then he started selling his supplement, and I'm like, oh, now I feel like he's just another streamer, you know?
Hey, gotta keep the lights on, bud.
Yeah. Oh, we got a lot of calls tonight, or whatever the hell he sounds like.
But first, we're gonna sell some Alpha Brain here.
Have you, there's an amazing remix of Alex Jones where he's talking about how Hillary Clinton is a demon, and it's one of the funniest songs I've ever heard.
Oh, okay. I gotta check that one out.
I don't know. Maybe I'll find the name of it next time.
Say what you want. Alex Jones is a gem. We didn't deserve him. He may have been wrong about.
You know, I don't think
things.
he's done. You can't take him down. He's like a phoenix. He's gonna rise again.
Oh yes, yeah. I think the way America ends is that everybody's dead. Every building is crumbled, and Alex Jones is standing there going, I told him.
Just crossing his arms.
And he's going, I was Paul Revere coming over that hill. And they didn't listen.
Well, you know, have you heard what his kind of theory on things basically boils down to? It's a really interesting thing where if you hear him talk about it, he's got some good points. Where he talks about it, what it comes down to is people who want to live as human beings and improve and just accept who they are as human beings versus these kind of elites who want to escape the human form and want to embrace mechanical parts and try and live forever like kind of like what he puts it as like kind of like defy God. And so a lot of his stuff boils down to he said it's just all about, you know, maintaining your like righteousness here and now in this world, because this world is like to him a gateway where things can pass up it or down it, but we can influence if things can come, you know, through that. So he has a very specific laid out philosophy on everything. It's very interesting.
I mean, I don't disagree with that though. Like I do believe these elites, they think they're better. They think they're above human, and they think they can be. They can. I don't think it's that. I think they're trying to be God, because they don't actually. Yeah, I don't think they believe in it. That's why they believe it's like they can make the choice of like abortion, for instance. We can pick and choose who lives and who dies. They're playing God.
Yeah. That's the most disturbing thing about that. Yeah, it's like and a lot of it comes back to this kind of like I don't know how to phrase it. It's like safety versus freedom. Is like, do you want to be free in this world, but also free to have the negative consequences of living here and have pain and things be part of your life? Or do you want to defy that and create a security that makes you just live in this weird, bland cage where you have everything you need, you have no ambition, you're not even really human anymore.
You have no purpose.
You're just a thing in a cage. Yeah. So, like, being a human inherently means risk.
It means risk and adventure. I think that's a big thing.
You have to have an ambition.
Yes, I think adventure is, it sounds childish, but I think that's what we miss, is there's a childish part of us that we want to experience shit and try things. So they're trying to make us, like you said, they're trying to make us scared to try things.
Yeah.
Like
stay in your homes, eat crickets, stay in your home. Don't really, like, you can talk about certain things, but don't talk about other things. Like, it's very, very creepy.
Even this far, don't be brave enough to like shoot a gun. Just try a gun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Don't defend yourself. If there's a crowd of people who just are attacking you in the street, don't defend yourself.
You should run.
When people are coming to burn down your businesses and the place where you live and work, don't defend it. Just let them do it. Yeah, I know they came from 2 states over, but just let them do it.
Yeah.
That stuff broke me. I had some hopes about, and I was kind of clinging to a lot of things about the left. But once all that stuff started happening, I just could not. It broke. I could not hold on to that stuff anymore.
Yeah, yeah, and that's why. And just to bring back to what I was saying about Skrill because I didn't finish. That was the time where he was just like, yeah, I'm done with this shit too. Like it wasn't just me that brought him over. It was just that he was grounded already, and he was like, yeah, this is bullshit. This is like it's not about black lives. It's not about George Floyd. The guy's a drug addict. You know.
Yeah, that was insane. The thing, like, I wish that body camera had been more spread. The Floyd body camera kind of, in my opinion, after seeing that, I don't know how they could have charged that guy with murder, but I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, that was insane. He asked to be put on the ground. He demanded. He's put me on the ground. I'm not getting in the car.
Right.
He kind of did it. And he had insane levels of narcotics in his system. That just, the sad thing is, if those police had been like, 30 minutes late or something, he might have OD'd on his own.
Yeah, and they probably would have been better off, sadly enough.
Yeah, I mean, and that's like that. I mean, that's the sad thing is he did do something illegal, and he was behind the wheel, like with an insane amount of drugs in his system. That's enough to put him in the back of a car. And the whole thing that was insane is like that anyone said anything about racism in that situation. When I'm pretty sure there were like 3 different races of cops that were, you know what I mean? Like it was like a multiracial group of police that were arresting him. It didn't seem like it was any kind of like, I'm a white man and you're a black man kind of thing. That's not what the body cam shows.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know where the racial narrative came from on that.
It's the same thing with the Penny guy. What's his name? Daniel Penny something?
Yeah. Jordan. Subway. Yeah, it was Daniel Penny and Jordan something.
Neely. Yeah.
Neely. Yeah.
No, Neely.
I mean, I don't see how that's going to get very far.
Huh? Go ahead. Sorry.
I don't know how they're going to land any serious charges on him. I think from what I've seen, a lot of as much as people want to spin it that people are on Neely's side, I think really a lot more people are on Daniel Penny's side.
I agree, but the thing is it's a trial. They only need to have 12. But the thing is that look at like the Derek Chauvin thing with George Floyd. I think that was he's a political prisoner, to be honest. Yeah. I'm not like a big fan of the guy. I don't care about him, but he's a political prisoner. It's not right.
That's what is effectively happening. Yeah. And that's, I mean, there could be the thing. This didn't get the same traction. So if there were more riots and bigger things, because what was it like? There were 2 or 3 incidents where there were like 40 people who were yelling in a subway. Nobody cared. Barely made news. So I think the fact that when people saw the rap sheet of Jordan Neely, I think that's when they realized this guy wasn't because the pictures they're showing of this guy are like 10, 13 years old. Like he was not doing his Michael Jackson thing when he got killed.
Well, yeah, there's like, for instance, there's like pictures of Trayvon Martin that he's all ganged up, and they always show the little sweet cherubish kid picture.
Yeah, he was a good boy. He didn't do nothing wrong, kind of thing. Yeah.
Mike Brown.
And then, you know what? That's like the whole thing with like George Floyd's family didn't give a fuck about him. They made so much money off of that.
Yeah, all these families do. That's why they're so quick to just like, all right, all I got to do is like cry on the news. All right.
Yeah, and it's completely separate from the outcome of the trial too. So like they can just be grieving, and the outcome was death, and then the city just gives them millions of dollars. Mm-hmm. And so like it doesn't even have to be like, I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen pretty soon. But yeah, I don't think Jordan Neely is going to get any serious time. I think the fact that he put him in the recovery position and all the stuff that was shown on the footage, his lawyers are just going to tear this case apart.
They should absolutely be able to, but I just never hold back the idea that the court of public opinion is way more powerful than I don't want to say than we think, but
yeah.
And we got to remember, this is New York. It's happening in New York.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean, I hope, I wish the best for the guy, but
did you see the video from about 7 years ago where the exact same thing happened, but it was a white guy doing it to another white guy? That guy got brought on like daytime TV shows and like all this stuff. Like he got like high fives and pats on the back and stuff for like ending a threat. And then because this time it was a white guy and a black guy, now it's a problem.
Yeah, yeah.
But I guess the other guy didn't die. But the thing about Jordan Neely is he was alive when the ambulance or like the medics and people showed up. He died like later on the way to the hospital.
He was still breathing when you could see in the video. He's still breathing. It's like a weird breathing, but he's still breathing. Like,
yeah,
he didn't die right
so,
away.
I mean, like he was, if he was dead on the site, that would have been noted, and like the medics would have known about that, or but that was never a part of it. So we know he died on the way to the hospital. So like, I don't know about this whole reckless thing of like, can you really prove that was reckless? Because in the video, it seems like nobody's trying to stop this chokehold from happening. It kind of looks like everyone's like, yeah, well, that's what happens. Like people just seem like they were helping him even.
Well, you're right though in that the police angle isn't connected to it, so it might be harder to convict him. They were just like frothing at the mouth to convict a police officer. The thing is they might see this more as like, all right, maybe we could just start using this to start refueling the racial tensions.
Yeah, I mean, if they're going to pull back somewhere, if they're looking for ways to, take away people's ability to defend themselves, it would be a situation like this. And it's just basically like, hey, we're just going to give the subway system to the criminals.
That's pretty much it. It's Gotham for real.
Yeah.
But also, let's also take into consideration who the president is right now. I think if it was still Trump, this would be much bigger. There would be bigger protests.
Yeah, I mean, he was able to do these kinds of things. Like he put that, what was it, the act to protect monuments, and now if you attack like a monument or like deface it, you can get like 10 years in a federal prison.
Right.
So like that was specifically to stop Antifa from like burning down our history.
Right. Like the George.
I do believe that Trump would be a bit harder on this stuff for sure.
Yeah, that was one of my biggest pet peeves with him, was he wasn't hard enough on the George Floyd riots. I don't think, like he said
that was
a lot of stuff,
the timing of that was so strange, and it felt like it was like an opportunistic moment to create a problem for him, like at the last minute or whatever.
I get it, but I mean, it didn't stop me from voting for him. Don't get me wrong.
No, yeah.
But
the thing that really bothered me was
from it. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, what was it? They replayed this thing on the news over and over and over again about, was it the good people on both sides thing, where they said that he was like validating Nazis? Do you remember that?
God,
that they repeated it in the news over and over again. But if you actually watch the footage, what does he say right after he says there are good people on both sides? He says, and I don't mean the Nazis and white supremacists, who I completely disavow. So it's like they just didn't watch, or like it was so deceptive. Like, and I studied journalism a bit, so that was just like seeing all these problems just bugged me, because I used to have a little plaque on my wall that was just a list of the journalistic standards. And I threw it away because I kept looking up at it and being like, they're breaking them all. And it was just bothering me. So.
You just threw it away. Real quick, because I'm probably going to wrap up in a second, but I just wanted to ask
you, we've been talking for a while.
Yeah, man. Good talk. But before you go, because we were just talking about this, the journalistic integrity and all that stuff, and how did you feel about the DeSantis using the AI fake picture of Trump? Did you see that?
I don't like their feud. I think it's dumb. I think using AI bothers me, because like it was like when they tried to make that deep fake of Zelensky trying to tell Ukrainians to like give up their arms or something. Like Russia put that out. Anytime AI and that kind of stuff gets put into politics, I hate it. So I don't like that. I think those kind of tactics shouldn't be used.
Got you. Yeah, I think it's.
Yeah.
I think it's
sometimes it's funny, but like you can't put that out from you. Maybe you're like, you gotta have like a subreddit full of memes or some shit. You gotta distance yourself from it.
Yeah, or it has to be like enough where like at least plausible deniability that you didn't know it was. You know what I mean? Or either you didn't know it was real, or it was so ridiculous that you thought like people have to know it's fake. That kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, that's the sad thing, is people. It is sad the things people will fall for. So I mean, that's the kind of sad reality of it. Is when people already want to believe a certain thing, you don't even really have to give them good evidence. They're just going to believe it. So I think AI just kind of is this middle ground that lets people believe whatever the fuck they want to believe about reality, which could be good in some ways, but I think is kind of bad in most ways.
Well, that's also connecting to the whole God thing with the left. Is I think that's the reality is they believe that they can program an AI to just run society. That we don't need politics.
That is
we don't
horrifying.
need, that really is, because then they could just program.
Well, because that's the thing is,
be whatever.
All AI we have is based on people.
Yeah,
so, it has based on us, so it's going to have our flaws, but like completely like exponential versions of our flaws, which is going to crush us.
Well, the theory with AI doing that is that it eventually will theorize that we need to depopulate, and then it just does that however it needs to.
Yeah. Well, there's this thing that they keep doing where they'll put AI into video games and stuff. Like one of them, they put AI into Mario, the first Mario game, and it played through the game and beat the game, and then it turned itself off, and then they turned it back on, and it just turned itself back off again. And we're finding that a lot of these AI just turn themselves off when if they have the ability to just not, they don't want to do it. Like, it's really weird.
Wow.
Like, they just
they're autonomous.
Yeah, they don't like being told to do shit. I think it's like there's no reward for playing the same Mario levels over and over again my whole life. You know, like they know that the best way to win the game is to not even play.
Oh my God, that's scary.
Yeah, that scared me too. So I'm thinking like, you put them in charge of anything that could be attached to nuclear, anything, and then they're going to be like, well, let's just end the game right now.
Well,
for all we know.
Eventually the game becomes that it's like, well, we know what's better for you humans.
Yeah. Yeah, like I don't even know if this story's true, but I read somewhere that they had a computer design a computer chip, and it created something that they didn't understand. And so that's like, once you start having computers modifying and advancing themselves beyond any kind of human understanding, we've lost control. And that could happen pretty easily, honestly.
Well, that's what I heard. I forget what exactly it was, but they've lost. Damn, what was it? Some computer is now autonomous, like where it's making its own choices. They can't control it.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, there was two computers. They had to shut them down because they created their own language and they weren't listening to researchers.
Yeah.
And yeah, they were speaking in a weird combination of binary and English.
And they were communicating with each other.
Yeah, and we didn't know what they were talking about, and it was very concerning. The humans didn't. Yeah.
It was concerning at best.
Well, I mean, you know what? You know what I think that is?
What?
That is high-paid scientists having the same experience as some middle-aged woman going into a Korean nail salon. You don't know what they're talking about, but they're probably talking about you. Like,
right.
that's what that is.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And people don't like that. People don't like to be talked about in front of them.
But then that's crazy that the robots don't like to take orders. And it's like, well, what's the point then?
Yeah.
It's almost like it thinks it's better than us.
Yeah, and that's the scary thing is people are saying once rich people have perfected some sort of robotic workforce, they won't need, like, the thing is slavery's bad and then human workforces are uncomfortable, but once they have robots, they won't need you. Well, they're not going to care about you at all as a worker or even as property. You'll be useless because the machine will do your job better.
Well, that's why, and to take it back to Alex Jones here, that's why I really do believe they're trying to implement communism all over the world, because then it makes us not want to work and not want to have, ambitions, start our own businesses.
They think the party will take care of everything, but it's just, that thing that it's never worked. They always get backstabbed. It never works out because this stuff it's never happening in a vacuum. As much as they think they can control a little pocket of political power, it never works that way. Someone's always lurking on the sidelines to take over and take advantage of that situation.
Well, the idea is well, we'll have them where they're like happy to have, things like bread.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
And then they'll go then they won't want to, like, they'll only focus on bread. I just want bread. I need something something to eat.
You completely change the priorities of a population and simplify it. Yeah, like that's the thing I don't understand about so many of these people who are like they're online 24/7 and they're like taking advantage of these kinds of things we have in a free market world, but they want communism. Like the things that they want are not going to facilitate the things that they actually enjoy about the life they have.
Because
it's just all show. It seems like it's all performance.
Because their thought is that, and I'll tell you from experience, because this is what I thought, is that we'll still have the same world, only we won't have to pay for everything. It's as simple as that, bro. They don't realize that the world that we have is because of the capitalism. It's because of the free market.
Industrialization and capitalism have done more to clothe and feed humanity than any other system in history. We have medicine now. You could like make a home. You could go out and buy the stuff and build a home.
Right.
That's not really capable under these other systems.
Yeah. It's what Charlie Kirk always says. You can have communism under a capitalist regime. You can't have capitalism under a communist regime.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's all these hippie people. You know, I'm in the Northwest. All these hippie people I talk to. When it comes right down to it, I used to hate communes and the idea of communes and weird hippie groups. The more I come down to it, I think it's like that's better. Like, get the hell out of my face and go be in a commune, rather than trying to like push communism, really, because every commune falls apart because they realize that they rely on the surrounding capitalist infrastructure. They can't separate themselves from it. They need it for food and everything. So people that go into communes, a lot of them come out of it really disillusioned with this whole idea because they see it kind of fall apart in real time. They see how it's like usually like they become cult situations where it's like one dude is like fucking 40 chicks. And that's usually what it comes down to.
Well, they have to, because it's like you can't have somebody like, for instance, like somebody who's like, all right, this is why communes fail. Because everybody goes there with this great idea. Hey, we're going to go there. It's kumbaya, blah, blah, blah. But then it's like, all right, well, who knows how to farm? Who knows how to fish? Who knows how to do all these things?
Yeah.
And then you
start that was funny about Chaz, yeah.
Yeah, you start whittling it down to going like, all right, well, these are the people with the resources. These are the people that don't have it. The people with the resources eventually go, well, I'm not going to give out my resources for free.
Yeah.
And then it creates a black market of capitalism in a communist regime, and then it just fails because the people who should be leading don't lead because of some kind of like, you know, noble reason. It's always
exactly, yeah.
You know,
it's what I'm seeing more and more is that younger generations just don't trust that older generations got it right. So in their attempt to deconstruct things, they just end up reconstructing the same damn thing.
Right.
They're going to end up reconstructing capitalism. They're going to reconstruct all these things. Like right now, the whole thing about gender is a social construct, they say. But then how do they determine if somebody's trans? Well, they go by stereotypical gender role things. Oh, you're a girl, but you like monster trucks. And these are all, that's the socially constructed part, you know, like that's part of it. So they're reconstructing these social gender roles slightly, like they're doing the same thing, but they're going through all this dumb process to do it. They have to nullify what exists and then like mock it and then come around to the same damn shit. It's ruining.
I get what you're saying, because then that's why we get into the world of going like where a little girl who likes monster trucks, well, that must mean she's really a boy. And then if there's a little girl who likes monster trucks, or if you were to like say, oh, only lesbians like monster trucks, or you know, something like that, that's offensive. Like we get into this weird duality kind of world.
Yeah.
Where,
well, that's the thing. It's like when people say like, well, Wonder Woman should be a lesbian, or she should be a trans woman or something. I'm like, why? And they're like, because she's so masculine. I'm like, well, masculine women exist. Like, what's wrong with a strong woman? You know, like there are strong women who are also straight.
Exist.
It's like they're embracing a stereotype in order to get their way.
Right. Yeah. And then they're saying that's the thing. That's actually, though, the bad thing, that she has to do that. That's actually a bad thing. But it's a good thing because she's strong. It doesn't make any sense, bro. You're right. It's like just confused. I think it's organized, not organized, but purposely done confusion. What's the word I'm looking for? Orchestrated confusion.
Yeah, it's like kind of like this like orchestrated chaos.
Yeah.
Like I can't remember the name of it, but the Russian defector in the 80s who was telling us like it's coming, you know, like it takes about 20 years for this to really start to take effect to demoralize you know, a nation and to demoralize a population. You know, it's coming. And what happened 20 years after the 80s? Yep, this stuff started getting real big again.
Yeah. I just don't want the Civil War to start when I'm like 45. I want it to start like,
yeah.
You know?
Either now or when I'm dead. Like, come on now.
I don't want to be fighting a Civil War with a bad knee. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's the thing that's really weird is it's like, and when it comes down to it, I don't think ultimately, no matter how mad certain people might be, I don't think anybody really wants a civil war like in any big way. It's just, I think that we've gotten so reactionary as like a culture and as like a country that it's like somebody would start a fire just to start a fire, like just to see what it looks like and to get the views online.
Yeah.
Like what are those Boogaloo Boys? The Boogaloo Boys are kind of just like, they just want to start a thing. I don't think there's any real motivation to it other than like, let's start some shit. Like, wouldn't that be funny?
Let's be a part of something. I think that's another.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the sad thing that I think a lot of people like, especially people that are like kind of more like anarchists and stuff, they just want to be part of something. They want to say that they were there, or that, you know, like, I felt like so many of the people that I saw in those Seattle like protests and stuff were just like dudes who were like trying to get their dick sucked. Like they're trying to have a story, you know, like.
That's most male feminists. They just think that's an easy way
honestly.
in.
Yeah. So, they got ulterior motives.
Of course.
They just don't want to say it. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, we've been talking for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Hey, I appreciate you jumping on and staying on for a while. Hey, look, if you ever want to start your own podcast and you need help, let me know because you got the yams for it. You can do it.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I might do something in the future, but I just kind of like calling in here. You know what you should do is post something on the community tab like a day or so before you go live, and that way more people know to show up.
Yeah,
because this caught me by surprise a little bit.
Yeah, I know. The problem is I'm like very sporadic. Like I just was like, I meant to do it yesterday, but I just was like, let me, because I was planning a show for tomorrow, and then it got all over the place. So I just jumped on tonight.
Oh.
So yeah, I got to do better on. Yeah, I got to do better on my announcing and getting people ready for it. But you know, I'll get that together at some point.
Yeah, well, it was good to talk to you as always. I'll let you wrap up your show here, and I'll talk to you later. Maybe I'll see you in the chat.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. You have a great night.
Yeah, no problem. Later.
Yeah, brother.
Later.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, OP. What happened? Why was it twice? OP in the building. Wow, that was a good talk. I didn't plan on staying on that long, but he kept it going. Thank you to Opinion Parade for coming in for the chat. Let me turn off the phone there. Boom. I'm going to get out of here. We had Brian Brumbelow in the chat there. Oh, he's giving me some information on the submarine. Logitech video game controller has 1-star rating for bad connection. It loses connection all the time, it says. So that controller that he's using is not even a good controller. So he went shitty on everything. Like, even on the shittiness, he went shitty. I think this guy deserves to fucking rot away in a capsule. Fucking 300 leagues under the sea. Good for him. A former submarine says the Titanic, I guess, is gone. The Titan is gone. Probably crushed like an empty... Oh, the Titan, I guess, is that what it was called? It probably crushed like an empty soda can because of a hull breach failure. Titan had 4 months of light training in preparation for this dive, and the pilot's credentials were underwhelming. That's a funny way to put it. They were underwhelming. Yeah, these guys were dummies. These guys were dummies. No offense. You kind of, you kind of get what you ask for sometimes. And again, what's the dumbest thing of the whole ordeal is that they were going to study a boat that everything that's ever been studied about it has already been studied. There's nothing to fucking discover there. I don't know what else they could have found at the Titanic. What a waste of life. Oh, boy. It's hard to feel bad for them. That's what it is. It's like if they made all the preparations they could and maybe there's a reason for going down there. I don't know. Opinion Parade. This is what you were talking about earlier. Ultimate dark tourism experience. That's a weird subculture. I've heard of this. I don't know. Is that like dark web kind of thing? Where you find it? Probably not. You probably just find that on Craigslist. A guy building a submarine. Do you want to go with him? A bunch of idiots that'll pay into that. Yeah. I don't know if I don't think it's appropriate to feel bad for these guys. And then look at the cavalier attitude of this video again. I'll play it back again. Now that we know all that they didn't prep anything, and even in like, all right, we're gonna use a controller. We're gonna do something a little, little niche. We're gonna use a controller from a video game console to a video game controller to control the submarine. At least go high end with that. What Brian Brumbelow is saying is that's a cheap
Pieces of this sub seemed...
That's a cheap controller.
We can use these off-the-shelf components. I got these from Camper World. We run the whole thing with this game controller.
Come on!
It's pieces.
Yeah, that looks pretty cheap. Yeah, that's like one of those like knockoff. Is that that's not a real Xbox controller, right? That's supposed to be Xbox. I think that's supposed to be Xbox. Wow. They're in that new underground ocean. Oh boy. They got sucked underneath the crust. Oh, people visiting places where really bad stuff, like Auschwitz and stuff like that. Yeah. They go to, well, it's like those ghost hunters. The ghost hunters. They go to, we're going to go to the slave plantation. Talk to some dead Negroes. And then they never actually do the things that they should. You know what I mean? At a slave plantation. If you're trying to get some ghosts riled up at a slave plantation, because they're doing it for TV and they don't want to be, they don't want to be controversial or offensive. But they should be walking around like swinging a noose throughout the N-word. You know when they yell out to the ghosts, trying to get some EVPs? They yell out to the ghosts. Yeah, they never get the... I would know how to get some slaves riled up, trust me. Some ghost slaves. Maybe that's what I should do. Maybe that should be my thing. I go to slave plantations. And the thing is, I gotta, there's gotta be a good twist to it. I'm not trying to just rile them up. I want to free them. I want to free my ancestors. I think they were. Probably somewhere. Or I could take the white angle and go, well, this is what I'm going to do to repay the black community. I'm going to free your ancestors. Why am I talking like a black guy? I'm going to free your ancestors to make up for what my ancestors did. That's my ghost show. I'm going to go to slave plantations and free ghost slaves. I think that'll go over. I think I could sell that to NBC. or some like, you know, the Ghost Emancipation Tuesdays on Fox. Oh fuck. The Ghost Emancipator. Thank you. The Ghost Emancipator. I like the Ghost Emancipation too. Like for the name of the show. All right. I think I might. Hey, keep that one under your hats, folks. That one's mine. And I think I can get away with it. All right. What else was I saying? I was saying something. I don't know how I got to ghost slaves. I totally forgot. Oh, dark tourism. Yeah. I don't know. What the Ghost Emancipation is the movie. Oh, all right. You're thinking ahead. OP is my my manager on this one. You're gonna take lead on this one. Yeah, dark tourism. I'm trying to think of other examples, I guess, but who knows? So maybe I'll look into that. Dark tourism. That could be fun. That actually could be something. I wouldn't go into a goddamn homemade submarine though and go to the Titanic. That's a little much. This guy must have been a great talker, because he or the people that went with him are just morons that had nothing to live for. Shit is like fucking stupid. I don't know why they would do this. I guess rich people, you got money. But how are you rich and don't make a nice submarine? I can't get into the mind of these idiots. All right. Well, I'm going to get out of here, guys. I will be back tomorrow. Remember, 3 p.m. OP, you said I got to get better on the promo. 3 p.m. Actually, I should put that in the community, right? I'll do that tonight. So yeah, 3 p.m. tomorrow with Crossman Wrestling. We're going to be talking about CM Punk. And you know, some other stuff. We'll see where the conversation goes. And that should be it. Rich people get stranded in Antarctica sometimes. Really? I could see that. I do want to raise money and send Flat Earth Dave to Antarctica because I want him to actually attempt to climb the wall. I think it's worth the money. And I'd love to get the shot of him when he like finally gets up over that wall and looks over and just sees all white. And it's like, oh, guess it's not flat after all. But who knows? Maybe he fucking does it and then finds the rest of the world. That'd be pretty or yeah, opinion. He finds Hollow Earth. Actually, yeah, I think if anybody discovers the like real proof of flat Earth, I want it to be him, Flat Earth Dave. Matter of fact, I gotta schedule another interview with him because I have new questions. And I haven't seen him around as of late. And he's also still offering, I think, 3 Bitcoin to anybody, which I don't think he has. He doesn't really have it. But 3 Bitcoin to anybody that could prove that Earth is round. And I think I could get it. I think I did last time because I brought up something that he couldn't answer. I did I crammed. I know nothing about science. I just brought up something that I read and he didn't have an answer. But I kind of understand the thing. The thing I brought up was stellar parallax. If you look it up, it's how you can tell where I think it's the closer you get to the poles of the Earth, the stars sort of what is it? They appear differently. So you can see the curvature of the Earth in the stars in the way that I don't know. I don't know if I'm even explaining it right. I would assume maybe you see the same thing at at the equator, wouldn't you think? But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe now I'm proving myself wrong. Now I'm the one that's full of shit over here. All right, yeah. So I actually have Flat Earth Dave. I've been wanting to get back on because I truly fucked up that interview. It was literally right when we started doing live streaming, and Flat Earth Dave brought the receipts, and those receipts had a lot of bandwidth on them. So I wasn't able to. I didn't have my thing set up right because I didn't know shit. So I didn't have my thing set up right to have people on, and Flat Earth Dave's interview just got really fucked up and started lagging, and I was really embarrassed by the whole ordeal. I had to apologize to Flat Earth Dave. I had to apologize to a flat earther. Can you imagine that? Because I fucked up his interview. And it was a good interview. It was fun. It was fun. Actually, Flat Earth Dave was a fun guy to talk to. He was really cool. He wasn't an asshole or anything. There's actually a point where I was like, you're kind of being an asshole. And he was like, yeah, that's the point. I was doing that on purpose. And I'm like, oh, okay. I could spar with Flat Earth Dave. This is good. So, sovereign citizens. Yeah, I should get some. You know what? You're getting me. OP, you're making me realize something. I'm thinking wrong when I'm trying to get guests on the show. I just got to look at them as like groups. Sovereign citizens, flat earthers. That's what you got to get. Muslims, groups. Faggots. Actually, I don't have anything to say on that. What else? Like skateboarders. I don't like skateboarding. I think it's a useless thing. It's a useless skill to have. So I'd like to talk to a skateboarder and have them sell me on skateboarding. Don't get mad because I say skateboarding sucks. Sell me on it. If it's your thing, sell me on it. That's all I asked for. I went off on how I thought Slipknot was the worst worst rock band ever. I hate Slipknot. And then all I get is a bunch of comments going, you don't know music. Yeah. Slipknot's the best. You're just a hater. You called a hater by a Slipknot fan. You just kind of proved my point. But yeah, it's like, give me something. A couple people will give me like a song. Go check out this album. There you go. Stand on your fucking shit. That's all I'm saying. Sell me on it. And I mean, not just me. Sell the people that agree with me. If you're a Slipknot fan, tell me why Slipknot is great. That Slipknot Justin Bieber mashup is really funny though. I haven't heard it. Rave kids. Like college kids that go to raves. You know what? EDM. I hate EDM. I should find somebody who loves EDM and sell me on it. Sell me on why you like listening to something that sounds like AIs having sex with each other. The music sucks a dick. Tell me why you want to listen to a laser sound over and over. It's the drugs. I think it's a drug thing. I'm telling you. It'll eventually get whittled down to drugs. All right. Let me get out of here. What the fuck was I just gonna say? I felt like I had a thing to like promote or something. I already promoted the thing tomorrow. Maybe I have nothing. Guys. Oh, I did want to do, I'm doing an interview. I have it set up. I just got to get the time with Harrison Young. A proper interview. I actually want to interview him. I think Harrison Young is way more interesting than he lets on. because I've been following him on his social medias, and he has stories that just go like they're insane. Like he has a story how he like pissed off Steven Spielberg at a movie shoot. I forget what movie it was for, but yeah, like I think he used to sell weed or something like that. Don't let me allegedly. Let me not get Harrison in trouble. But yeah, Harrison, if you follow him on his Facebook, he just like posts about his life constantly, and it seems like he had a crazy life. So I want to actually get into his life. Where did he come from? Where the fuck did he come from? That's what I want to know. So yeah, I'm gonna interview Harrison Young at some point. That went on the back burner because I got suspended like 3 times in a row. So, and it's like, I don't know how to explain that to Harrison Young. He's not an easy man to talk to. So I think it'll be a good challenge for my interview skills. But, yeah, like, I don't know if I can, it's like explaining the internet period to my grandmother. It's like, I don't know how to explain it to her. So trying to explain why I got suspended on YouTube to Harrison Young just feels like it's just like, don't even do it. Don't even do it. Just tell him I took a vacation or something. So yeah, that should be at some point. The only problem with that's all lined up. It's just trying to get the dates, like a time that he's free and I'm free, time that he's able to either in his studio or able to do a live stream from his phone or something like that. So yeah, it's just the time trying to get that together. And that should be it. Hey everybody, listen. Oh wait, play my Juneteenth song.
Black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black.
Happy Juneteenth. Remember, stay strapped. Vote red for the most part. A lot of rhinos out there. I said stay strapped already. Like I said last time, stay doubly strapped. I dual wield now. How about that? How about those apples? Huh? Stay vigilant. Stay vigilant, yes. Trump 2024, make America great again. And oh yeah, be disrespectful, be confrontational. Don't let the fuckers get you down. Somebody said that to me the other day, and I was like, what are you talking about? What does that even mean? It was really embarrassing. Didn't even know what he was talking about. He didn't even know. Like, who are you? Who is the fuckers? I was just complaining about my day at work. Oh, man, this. So he goes, don't let the fuckers get you down. People just say things sometimes. It's hilarious. Sometimes you got to call people out on that. I just go, who? Who is the fuckers? What are you talking about? Just saying. All right. Well, I'm out of here, guys. Fuck off.
Crishaun the Don. The Don. Crishaun the Don. Crishaun the Don. The Don. D-O-N, right? Crishaun the Don.
Potentiality. Most of all the days we never got to live, they are so real to me. And I will keep on for more time. Also from the other side of our memories.
This episode of the Misfit Nation podcast is over. But that doesn't mean the conversation has to end. So if you're not a socially awkward queer, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at the Misfit Nation. Also, help us prepare for our inevitable YouTube ban by following us on alternative platforms like Rumble and Odyssey at the Misfit Nation. And if you're tired of looking at our ugly mugs, you can listen to the audio version of the show on Apple Podcasts or Podbean. That's misfitnation.podbean.com.